So Cespedes was absent from there, and they went looking for him, all that. So Brody Van Wagenen says that Yoenis Cespedes is opting out for COVID-related issues. By the way, the Mets say they will support Cespedes in his decision without question. The problem is that he didn't even bother telling him anything. The Passan puts out, Yoenis Cespedes didn't show up today. The Mets sent security to his room. They found it empty. He had taken his belongings, just up and left, and through his agent informed the team mid-game that he was opting out. And that's according to Brody, the GM. So he ends up, like getting the hell out.
Yay, we're on.
Yeah, so he ends up getting the hell out and doesn't tell the Mets about it at all in the process, which is completely classless on his part, okay, that he did that. Again, I don't blame him for leaving, but it's the way you end up leaving. You know what I'm saying? And so that's where, Cespedes, look, I got to say something. This is a guy that came from Cuba. You've been in much worse situations, bro. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you want to punk out for the whole COVID thing and all that, that's fine. I get it. But please don't make it sound like this is the worst thing in the world. You've been in Cuba. Okay? All right? So, the average American, they've never lived in communist countries. You know what I mean? So they haven't had to experience that. So he had to experience it. So, I just don't want to hear that it's so bad for him. You know what I'm saying? A guy that had to deal with communism, it's just kind of weird. You would figure a guy like this is trying to make as much money as he can while he's at it, and I know it's only $2.2 million for him. For us, that's a world of money, but for him, 2.2 may not be a lot. I get it, but I just kind of found it kind of weird that a dude that was in communism has been over here for a few years now making some money, and he is completely one of us now.
You know what? The way I looked at it, you don't want to face the music. Is it really because you're 5 of 31 with 15 strikeouts and you don't want to have to explain, I suck right now?
Right.
And I really don't.
No, I suck again.
I just, I'm feeling the crowd, and the crowd's not even in the stands, and I'm feeling the crowd's booing me.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. It's just crazy, bro. Just crazy. And the good thing for him, there's no crowd booing you right now, so you're kind of getting away with it. So even if you suck, the only thing they can do is write about it. You know what I'm saying? Well, you could hear from it in social media.
The happiest guys in the league that are glad there's no crowd, people that suck, and the Houston Astros.
Yeah, no doubt. So we got, and we were on time, or kind of like, or just after 11. The problem was there was some technical snafus, so we got in a little late. Omar Lopez, he took the first spot. He hadn't done that in a while. They've been unseating him every day. John Rouse is in the house. Call of Duty, Julius 305, Miguel Garcia, Flipside Fishing, Gus 1388. Josh is in the house. Mark McIntyre. Rouse says NBA ratings half of what they expected. Black Lives Matter all over the courts. Kneeling also could be the viewers' response. Oh, there's no doubt. We'll get into that. Good morning, guys. Let's go Isles. Antonio Matos says, LOL. Man of 1,005 holds is in. Matthew Walker. And, yes, I know about The Rock, and we'll get into that also on the program. So, welcome aboard. I've only talked about Cespedes. I haven't talked about anything else, and talked a little bit about the Storm for those of you that are just joining us on video there. A lot of things to address. First of all, let's get into a little heat, okay? Because they put up one hell of a performance. It was a competitive first half, and then in the second half, they outscored them 69-48. Jimmy Butler was solid, attacking the rim. What did he get? 10 of 11 from the free throw line. And I got to tell you something. I I have I gotta be I'm so impressed with Jimmy Butler. I just am. And not because I Jimmy knows he's not a superstar. I know he's not a superstar. Most of us know he's not a superstar. He's an all-star type player. At his best, at his peak, he's a lower level all-star player. Put it that way, okay? Still a hell of a player. But he has been an absolute superstar for this team because what I love about what Jimmy's done is Jimmy understands he can't shoot the ball 30 times a game. He's not efficient enough for that, right? So you look at his line, and he shoots 10 of 11 from the free throw line, and he's shooting a decent percentage from the field because he's not going crazy and shooting a whole bunch of shots from three-point range, which he can't hit, those kind of things. You want him once in a while taking a key shot because he's fearless. You know what I mean? But what I love is that Jimmy came in and said, I'm going to be a superstar by pushing these young guys, teaching them work ethic like I have, because Jimmy's work ethic is amazing, right? And so he's teaching them how to play hard. He wants them to play hard. They got to play hard anyways on this team anyways, because that's just the way it goes. But that's why he goes with it. But he also understands his limitations offensively. So you see his assist numbers, 7. And they're always up there because he knows that offensively, I need to be physical and drive to the hoop and draw fouls and go to the line because that's where I'm going to keep my average up. That's where I'm going to get a high percentage of shots because I can hit free throws and I can help my team and I can penetrate and I can dish out to Duncan, to Tyler, to Nunn, to everybody, to Olynyk, who was red hot in the fourth quarter with 20 points. All of those kind of things that have happened. But I love that he has been a superstar as a human being and a player for them because he understands who he is and did not say, "Oh, you're giving me all this money. Now I'm going to take over. I'm going to be the shot taker," because he can't. And he knows he's not a more efficient shooter than Duncan Robinson or Tyler Hero. So why am I going to take shots that I need them to take shots? You know what I mean? And in that sense, I couldn't be more happy for the Heat and for this team. I could also say to a certain extent, while I liked the Jimmy Butler acquisition, I've told you that without another star, and I'm talking about somebody that's better than him, his acquisition isn't going to matter nearly as much. Where I was wrong is it's mattered so much to everybody else. Now, in the big picture of title and all that, I'm still the same. They have no shot at it unless they add a star that's better than Butler. You know what I'm saying? But I got to commend him for his incredible maturity and the way he has attacked all of this. And that performance against Denver's a good team, man. To go out there and
number 3 in the West
and to beat Denver 125-105 and dominate that second half and play as well as they did and get the Olynyk fourth quarter that they got 4 of 6 from 3-point range, all of that stuff. To me, that was a lot of fun. That's why I told you on Friday I had hope for one team in the Miami Heat, and I had no hope, and I was in despair, and I just don't feel anything for the Panthers because I kind of know what they are already. You know what I mean? And sure enough, they showed me again what they are on Saturday. It's what they are, and we'll get to that conversation in a minute. But now you see the way the Heat is playing, and it's just one game, means nothing. The Lakers played really well and up to snuff against the Clippers, right? And then they got smoked by the Raptors, who's the team that plays Miami today at 1:30. You know what I'm saying? So one game doesn't mean anything, but what has meant something is the way Butler has attacked this season and the intelligence that he has used to say, okay, how can I best help this team? And he did not allow some ego to take over and say, well, since I'm getting paid all the money, I'm going to take all the shots, which would have been just terrible for the Miami Heat. And I got to give him love for being the ultimate team player in a way. And that's what he's been. And that's what they needed in order to develop those young guys. You know what I mean? And obviously they have developed in a really, really nice pace. So it's been cool to watch. Today at 1:30, they play the Raptors. We'll be on the air while they're starting that game. But just really nice stuff to get from the Heat and from Jimmy Butler, man. I loved it, man. It was a lot of fun. And I got to tell you, Bam looked really good. Bam looked like he could do whatever he wanted. Did you notice that? I mean, that's how it's the confidence is growing in that young man every single game, every single year. He just becomes a better player all the time. So impressed with Bam. It looked like he could have his way with the anybody that was on the court, but his movement, his athleticism, his confidence, all of that too was shining through. And here's a guy that missed a lot of the training camp and the first couple of games and all of that, and comes in yesterday or on Saturday and just looked fantastic, man. It was just so much fun to watch the Heat. It makes you feel good about them.
Jimmy had said it. I think it was about we're 2-3 months into the season, right before we shut down. Bam kind of is the anchor on offense. His positioning, what he does, everything goes through Bam, and without Bam, it's a different Heat team.
Yeah, no, he's the man.
He is.
He's a force. It's a force. Helps you defensively, helps you on rebounding, can cover players, assists, steals, scores. The only thing that he's got in his game that he's got to develop is that outside shot in the three-point line. And his athleticism tells you that he has the ability to do that. It's not like he's a stiff and has to work at it, and it's going to be a real mission. You know, like Magic developed a little three-point shot, but it was kind of like a shot put because he wasn't a pretty shooter. So, but he had it, but it had to be set and shot put and it took a while. Jason Kidd, as the years went on, developed into a decent three-point shooter, but it took him a long time to develop it because it didn't come naturally to him. Bam, the way his shot flows, it is something that comes naturally to him. It's just part of adding and growing to his game, but you can tell that there's more of a natural shot to him than some of these guys that I just mentioned, and those are great players in Magic and Kidd, but it took them. I don't think it'll take Bam nearly that long if he really works on it.
You think about it,
He's
Jordan.
got skills, man.
Jordan, I mean, he had a shot, but that step back jumper that became deadly, that didn't come until the 5th or 6th year.
Right.
It takes a little while.
Yeah, it definitely does. So good stuff by the Heat. Today at 1:30, they'll be taking on the Raptors. That'll be a lot of fun. So we'll, I'm sure, be watching it down the stretch here as we're doing the show. So good stuff by the Heat. Love it. All right, let's do this. Let's take a quick break. Don't forget Moody-S Dental, a proud sponsor of our program, 305-821-0231. Follow them on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and it's at Moody-S Dental. And whether we're talking about implants or Invisaligns, they are the best. It is state-of-the-art, family-owned. Tell them that Big O sent you. I promise you they're going to take care of you. 305-821-0231. Go to the website, moodyasdental.com.
It's a buyer's market at Toyota of Hollywood. Over 1,500 Toyotas on the ground, and truckloads just keep on coming. Now pay up to 50% less. 2020 Camry, not $29,000, $17,775. 2020 Corolla, not $22,000, $13,775. Buy a new 2020 Toyota with 0 down and 0% financing, or we'll make your payments till 2021. At Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com, a travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
We back. All right, we got to do a couple things first, okay? I got to give some love. We added, anybody notice any new things there at all? Well, Pat in Asheville gave me a Bob Ross Joy of Painting, and Bob's one of those guys that you see, and it's just mellow. You know, it just...
Do you have any volumes?
Right.
I might want one.
He just makes you, like, mellow out and feel relaxed, right?
Do you not see it? I'm
While you're painting?
I'm getting excited. Does anybody have a volume? I need the mellow.
So Pat in Asheville sent me this, and it's very nice. Thank you, Pat. Appreciate you, man. I can't put up the whole box with all the things because that, you know, I don't have a lot of space. So I got to start to squeeze things in. Now, you see Stanley C. Panther is wearing the Devo hat, although the Devo hat got tilted there. I got to fix it. But he's got the Devo hat on, and that happened like minutes before we were going to get on. I just don't have time to fix it now, but I will fix it later when I get a chance. That's an old license tag that I had on the car. What else? That's about it. I don't think I've added anything else.
I just want you to know that Sheldon is very upset with you taking Bob out of the box.
Yeah, I had to. Sorry, Pat. I had to take it out. I know that I took the value out of it, so I won't be able to sell it for hundreds and thousands of dollars down the line. But this is the only way I can display it every day so you can check it out and everybody else can check it out. So our Bob Ross is there. Right next to our Schmidt. Schmidt's about to hit a home run. That is awesome. Our Darth Vader. Our lunchbox. Our Rush lunchbox, that is. What else did you guys give us? The Devo hat. The Devo hat. The Bob Ross. The Mike Schmidt. The Darth Vader. Well, I still have Myron's book here. Okay. So there you go. Couple presents that you guys keep adding to the studio, and I appreciate it. So thank you very much. Those of you that come see us at our different stops and bring us presents and ship us presents and all of that. Thank you. I really
like
appreciate
the air
it.
conditioning man.
Yes. John Rouse in the house with the little AC, man. That was pretty awesome. So thank you very much to all of you out there. So just to give you guys a little heads up on some of the things going on with our studio. All right, if you want to get in on the text line, 786-322-1105. That's 786-322-1105. Let me see what you guys got here on the chat board going on. Any specific questions here? Good morning to you three gentlemen that give us a great show, everybody. Good morning to all the fine listeners listening from Michigan as always. Hopefully all of you out there are blessed and safe. Thank you, Ron. Appreciate you, my friend. Let's see. Herman Cueva says, Big O, Dolphins just announced wide receiver Preston Williams is cleared to start practicing. It's all well and good. That's nice. I just need him to stay away from COVID, and we'll see. I mean, all that means it's nice, but I gotta see them actually play football. That's really what I'm concerned about. Let's see. Man of 1,005 holes are waiting for the playoffs. When the playoffs start, expect more D. I don't know who we're talking about there. If you're talking about the Heat, well, I don't know. We'll see. It's just one game, but, Nice Bob Ross, R.I.P., the best stress relief host ever. He is. It is a mellow thing. You watch Bob Ross, and there's no way you can stay pissed off. You're just going to, mellow, using
Can you name
Cheech and Chong.
Can you name anybody more mellow than that guy?
Bob Ross? No.
Right?
No.
I mean, he is.
It would have to be Mr. Rogers, something like that.
Yeah, but when the bell rang, even Mr. Rogers would get a little excited.
Yeah, a little excited, just a tad, just a little bit. All is well here from NorCal, Big O and Bill. All the chat borders are kicking ass. Thank you. Good morning, everyone. Prayers that everyone had a safe and pleasant weekend from Rosendo. There we go. Flipside Fishing says, I always thought Bam is going to be good. Yeah, the question is, can he be great? Because he's really good now. He's not just good now. He's really, really good because he's an all-star now. He's all-star caliber. There's no doubt about that. The question is, can he get to that superstar level? Is he that kind of guy? Because then we're talking about, okay, now you don't need to get that next guy next to Jimmy, because all of a sudden one of your young guys has elevated themselves to superstar status. And that's the only way Bam does that is by developing that deep outside shot. Because he does that, it's over. It's over. Because he's going to have to bring all the big men out there, and with his athleticism, oh man, he's going to run by those guys if he wants to. Because he can put it on the floor. David says, just read 2019 book Shula by Mark Rubinsky. Great read. Follows the coach from fisherman roots in Ohio to the retirement unvarnished. Great for old-time Doll fans. Thank you, David. That's a very nice tip on your part, my friend. Appreciate you looking out for us, as always. Let's talk a little Panthers, okay? Because the Panthers on Saturday did what they were supposed to do, lose. And I say it that way because this is who they are. And I had a little bit of this from Bill, and I also had it from people on Twitter and all that, because I was very critical, as I've been lately, of one person, really, because I don't really blame anybody else in the organization. I only blame Dale Talon. It's the only person that should be blamed now at this point in time. And I'll get to Dale in a minute. But the Panthers, they have proven to us over and over and over again that they can't step up. They don't know how to perform at key moments. They have shown us no growth whatsoever. Okay? And that's the scary part. And this is what I want to remind you of, okay? Now, I want you to listen to this, okay? Bam performed on Saturday. They're already in the playoffs. They're one of the better half teams in the playoffs, correct? Don't they have the 4th seed right now? Or they were, I don't know, with the new whatever.
Yeah, I believe
they were like right in the middle of it, right? So they weren't even a bottom-end playoff team. They were a mid-tier playoff team, correct? Okay? Now, Bam is in his 3rd year. Tyler Hero is in his 1st year. Kendrick Nunn in his 1st year. Derrick Jones Jr. is in his 5th year, but really the first 2 years he barely played much. It's the last 3 years where he's gradually played more and more. Okay? And, of course, they've got Olynyk and they've got Jimmy. They've got a couple of veterans there that help them out too, right? Jonathan Huberdeau is in his 7th season. Not 1, not 2, not 3. Let me go LeBron on you. No. 7. Barkov is in his 6th year. Okay? Ekblad is in his 5th year. And Matheson, Mike Matheson, this is his 4th year already. I can mention Dadonov because it's his 5th year, but Dadonov didn't really come through the system. I'm talking about guys that were drafted and through the system. Okay? So listen to me now. Listen to me. We have a group of guys that we're trying to figure out if they're good enough to just make the playoffs. Huberdeau and Barkov are in their 6th and 7th years, and we're trying to see if they're good enough to lead a team to the playoffs. Do you know how pathetic that is? 6th or 7th year, man. Like, when are you going to show us los cojones, dude? When are you guys going to step up? When is this core? This is such a weak core is what they're showing us, because they got no mental toughness. You would figure, dude, if you drafted 5 badasses, by now you should have made the playoffs several times. Not only making the playoffs, I want to know how deep you can go in the playoffs. Because I said this at the beginning of the year. It's not about making the playoffs. It's about making a deep run in the playoffs for these guys. Making the playoffs is nothing, dude. Half the league makes the playoffs. It's not impressive to make the playoffs in the NHL or the NBA. Yet we look at the Heat, and they're babies compared to these guys, and they're accomplishing more already. I mean, it's just, how long do you have to wait for Jonathan Huberdeau and Barkov and all these guys to finally step up and say, we are studs. We have arrived. And I've said this over and over again. Barkov cannot be your best player. He just can't. He's not good enough to be your best player. It's not by God-given talent. No, he's good enough by talent. He's just not good enough by cojones. He's just not a guy that says, I'm taking over this mofo right now. It's not who he is. Never has been and never will be. We're 7 years in. How much longer do we have to wait for them to step up? And look, I know what you're saying. Oh, they only lost the first game. You know what this means? This means the Panthers have to win 3 of 4 in order to win the series now. At this point, if you think they can achieve that, I can't help you, man. I can't help you. Seriously, I can't help you anymore. I stayed as positive as I can. I gave him the benefit of the doubt as much as I can for as long as I could. Bata. It's over, bro. No puedo. I can't. It's over. It's been over for me for months now. I think I might have been on the record for that for a while now. Right? By the way, the the flagship team, the flagship station for the team, or let's just say the flagship company for the team, Intercom, right? They own two stations, 560 and 790. Anybody there got the balls to say fire Dale Talon? That's why this kind of radio is the future of radio. Why? Because you can't be honest anymore. I was criticized constantly for saying fire Gase and Tannenbaum. I had to have the GM was on my ass all the time. Hey, why you got to be firing people on the air? And I go, well, because they deserve to get fired. They need to get fired. And sure enough, they did exactly what I said. Now, obviously, I get criticized for it from internally for saying the right things. Hey, that's talk radio, man. If we're going to praise you and give you love when you do well, when you're not doing well, we got to point that out. And if there changes need to be made, somebody's got to have the balls to say it. Obviously, they don't have any balls over at QAM and 790 because they can't. Because they know that they'll have Len Weiner's whiny ass. Oh, please, don't pick on the players. Don't pick on Whiteside. I mean, come on, give me a break. That's why this is the radio you guys got to support, is podcasting. Find the people you like and support those people, support their sponsors, because this is the only way you're going to be able to get freedom in radio. There is no more freedom in local radio, and especially with a company like Intercom. You're never going to get hosts, to be honest. So they'll goof off and screw around because they can't really talk passionately about sports. They can't really say what's on their minds. The stuff you're saying, they can't say. Why? Because they're worried about their jobs. I can't live like that. I can't work like that. I never have. And Greg Reed, God bless him, man. Not that he passed away. I'm just saying God bless him working for him. That man never told me what to say, what not to say. In fact, he would catch me in the hallway and say, I agree with you. They got to fire that guy. He's terrible. Joe Bell, same thing. Never, ever did Joe Bell walk up to me and say, hey, we're partners with the Dolphins. We're partners. I'm in the middle of a draft at Dolphin Stadium with the Dolphin officials all there. And I'm there with three other guys from the Dolphins, Mad Dog, Jimmy Syphilis, and Joe Rose. And they draft Vontae Davis, and I said, yo, he can play, but he's got maturity issues. So then I'm the bad guy. But at no point did Joe Bell walk over to me, hey, we're here at Dolphin Stadium, the Dolphin officials, the people that run the organization are right there. Don't say that. Never. You know why? Because Joe Bell appreciated the fact that I was going to call it like I see it, and I wasn't going to say fire somebody that like fire Spo or something, like some of you idiots have said in the past. Oh, anybody can run the team. Never said that, because I would never do that. Anyway, I don't want to break my record. My record's impeccable. You guys know that, right? So far in doing 30 years of radio, everyone that I've ever said to be fired has gotten fired. Everyone. I've never said fire somebody and they've never fired them. Never. It might take them a year or two to fire the person, but they fire them. Oh, there's no doubt. I was all over Golden's ass. Eventually they fired him. So support anybody that's podcasting that you like, support them. Support that woman, support that man. Why? Because that's the future of radio. It's already here now. You know what I mean? Less and less of you are listening to live radio because you don't want to hear a half hour of commercials. And you don't want to hear fluff. People kind of, the real fan kind of reads through all the bullshit. And so they know when a host can't say something and won't say it. So when How long more do we wait for Barkov and Huberdeau to become like real stars? I'm just saying. It's embarrassing. Okay? That core is embarrassing. I don't even, like Mad Dog used to say, Jonathan Huberdeau, Aaron Ekblad, Barkov, all these guys, they need to stare at their shoelaces and not make eye contact. Okay? That's how they should be now for years. Because they are an embarrassment now for years. I can't blame the coach anymore. I'm not blaming coaches anymore. The coaches have changed over and over and over again. Notice how they can't get more out of the players. The players are who they are. So who do you turn your attention to? Dale Talon. Right? Because you can't keep changing coaches. You got a Hall of Famer now. So what, we're going to fire him now because he's got the... No, dude. Everybody else had these players. And everybody else can't get over the hump. Why? Because the players, they don't have it. Yeah, they're talented, but they're not dogs. There's no dog in Barkov. At all. Jimmy Butler, he may not be able to play like a superstar, but he's all dog. Oh, he's all dog. He's going to find a way to get it done. Oh, I can't hit that shot. I'm going to drive to the hoop one way or another, and I'm going to draw a foul. And if I don't, I'm going to dish it off to somebody. If not, I'm going to steal the ball in the middle of the lane and run the break. You understand? That's what dogs do. Dogs find a way to win the game somehow or another. Say what you want about Chris Bosh. That guy had dog in him. Only dogs get the key rebound. Only dogs can get a key block in the corner. Only dogs find Ray Allen in the key moment. If you measure a dog simply by just scoring, then that's not the guy. Those special dudes and dudettes, they do everything. And they find ways to win because they take over a damn game. And Michael did the same thing, whether he was stealing the ball from your ass, whether he was scoring or dunking on you, whatever it was, or he was covering. You saw what LeBron did in that Clipper game, right? Where he switched off on two guys. That's dog, baby. That's dog. No. I'm going to make sure we win this game. One way or the other. That's dog. I never see it from Barkov. I never see it from Huberdeau. Ekblad has never even been in the conversation. Ekblad might be one of the more overhyped guys ever in the history of the Panthers organization. It's time, man. It's time. And sadly, I've told you guys over and over, COVID is going to cause problems here. They may not be able to make the changes they need to make because of the short off season, and they've spent so much money. But, I mean, Bobrovsky. And I told you this earlier when I was talking about this, because Bill was, they're working hard, they're playing hard, and this and that. And I heard Jessica Blaylock on one of the intermissions, and, that's her job because she works for the Panthers. That's the beauty. That's why I try not to work for any teams. You know what I'm saying? Because if not, you cannot be objective. And then she's, hey, they're working hard and they're playing hard, and that doesn't mean shit anymore. Okay? I might be measuring Kendrick Nunn that way. I might be measuring Duncan Robinson that way. It's their first year, dude. I need to see Tyler Hero. Are you playing smart? Are you playing hard? Are you not getting down on yourself when you're struggling? Are you finding other ways to, like Kendrick Nunn will lay brick after brick after brick, but he'll play defense, and he'll get an assist or two, get a steal. You know what I'm saying? He won't allow that to get into his game. I see all that kind of maturity from those guys. Where is it from these guys? So when you tell me, oh, they were playing hard. Bro, what is this, an expansion team? What is this, their first year in trying to make the playoffs? Is this like Barkov's second year or third, where he's got just a couple of hairs on his face and it's just young stubble and he's learning? No, dude, he's 7 years in. All these guys have been in. They're established already. I expect you to play hard. I expect you to play smart. I expect you to play well. You know what I also expect, God, D, is I expect you to win. That's what I expect you to do. Everything else is a given. You're supposed to give me effort. You're supposed to play hungry. You're supposed to fight for the pucks in the corner. You're supposed to check people against the wall. You're supposed to play tough. You're supposed to hang in front of the damn net. You're supposed to do all of that. We're way past that already with the Panthers. What you got to do is win, bro. Win. Do I have to be Italia Shire and Rocky? Win. Win. Get me a hospital bed. I'll lie there. Win. Win, Panthers. Is that what I got to do? You know, it's too much, man. It's too much. And I get it. Nobody at QAM and nobody at 790 is going to have the balls to say this. Because they can't. Because they'll get fired. They'll get reprimanded. But I'm the only one that's going to speak the truth. I don't see anybody in the media saying the right things about how bad the Panthers have been and how those players, it's not only time to fire Dale Talon, it's also time to blow the hell out of this team out of the water. Okay? The worst thing, you know what? I love Vinny Viola and Doug Sifu. They did all the right things, but it ended up wrong on their end. Let me explain. They did the right thing in paying their players and getting them locked down. But the problem was not one of them earned a goddamn dollar. Not one of them earned that contract. Not Huberdeau, not Barkov, not Ekblad. All those guys have made fat-ass money, and they've produced squat. But they did the right thing because they thought that those guys were going to blow up, and then if you wait towards the end, and then now you've got to pay even more. So they had foresight, and they were doing the right thing. The problem was they counted on the wrong guy. But they were doing the right thing, too. They inherited Dale Talon. These guys didn't. It's like when Ross took over, he inherited Bill Parcells. So he gave it a couple years to, okay, it didn't work, got rid of him. These guys have now given Dale Talon more than enough time. It's time to change. They brought in a great coach in Quinville. They're doing the right thing again. I can't blame, Viola and Sifu. They have done all the right things. But unfortunately, now they've got to do what Stephen Ross did. They inherited Dale Talon. He inherited Bill Parcells. Hey, okay, I inherited what was a great coach and a great personnel guy, all that. Well, he let it play out a little bit. He go, oh, not working. Then he finally changed. All right, these guys, they tried to adjust a little bit with Tom Rowe and it didn't work out, but then they went back to Dale Talon. Dale's had the reins now for 10 years, and it's 2 playoff appearances. Enough already, dude. You're spending a lot of money, and you're not getting results. And at one point or another, Quinville has to sit there and go, I'm sorry, bro, there's no Patrick Kane here. Is there one? I'm just wondering, is there Patrick Kane on this team?
Not at all. Not even close.
Okay, or no, I'm just wondering. Is that what I call a dog? I'm sorry, was that a dog?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I'm just checking.
And exactly what you're talking about, the last 3 minutes of that game, right? It's like you have no concept that there's 3 minutes left. You're a goal down. Where Man, where does a fire get lit under your ass in
Never.
a sense of urgency?
Never.
Bro, they showed up really and truthfully for the first 2 minutes of the third period when they got that goal. After that, you would have acted they tied the score. Let's play safe.
Right. Yeah. They're
Bro, there's 5 times in the first 2 periods a puck goes right across the front of the net. There's nobody there.
They're the football team celebrating beating Central Michigan.
The other teams have a guy camped out in front of our net
And
constantly
we don't do anything.
and don't do nothing.
And we do nothing.
And you see the other team do it. Why don't you do it yourself? We had 5 passes in the first 2 periods that if there's somebody there, there's a decent shot on goal. Bro, we had 24 shots on goal. Remember, I said it to you. There was only 2 hard shots. The other 22 were weak, man.
Yeah.
Nothing on it.
I know. It's I don't know how long more you wait. And that's why I say to Viola and Sifu, hey, guys, I love you. You've done all the right things. You thought this was the right approach, and you tried it, and it didn't, but you can't keep going. You got to get off this. You got to get off this train. You got to change things. You got to turn it around one way or another. You can't keep waiting for guys that are never willing to step up. And that's the thing. That's why I told you. That's why I wanted to just use the Heat compared to the Panthers and look at a bunch of babies already in the playoffs, already like impactful playoff teams, and they've got to, like I told you, I got hope that the Heat can at least win a round. Maybe they shock me with 2. I have no hope that the Panthers are even getting into the playoffs. Okay? None. And sure enough, on Saturday, they showed me again, it's a gutless team. It just is. They have talent, but they don't have dog. And that's the difference in those guys. And why? I'm telling you, they got paid. They got paid without accomplishing nothing. And that's the dangerous part. And I think that's where Viola and Sifu have to learn now. You can no longer pay people unless they show you from day one they are dogs. You know, like a Pat Mahomes. Like he led you to Super Bowl. He's got 2 years left. No, dude. Paid the man his money. Okay? Let's go rounders. Paid the man his money. The problem was you paid all these guys and none of them have ever shown you dog. All you saw was potential. Same thing. The Heat did that too. Oh, Whiteside, potential. And you got burned. Okay? James Johnson, potential. No, dude. But James Johnson is what he is and what he's been his whole career. And so is Whiteside, by the way, before you got him. But he showed you a little bit and you got suckered on potential and you got burned by potential. Okay? I do want to remind you on our Twitter page at Big O Show, we have a terrific giveaway going on with Heineken. Go to Big O Show and sign up for that giveaway because it's actually really, really cool. It's a chance to win a stadium box package with beer gear, eats, and real stadium seats or seat. They give you this super nice cooler and everything with Heineken. So check it out. Go to my Twitter page. Go see the tweet. Hit the link. Sign up for the promo, and good luck to you all out there, man. Okay, it's a pretty cool thing that we got going on with Heineken on the show.
Let me add one thing. Bob, in goal, played good enough for us to win.
Yes,
and the fact that how he's been up and down, and the players didn't
although
go.
He got fooled
hey,
on the second on that second goal. It wasn't a great. He got like smoked on that second goal.
Yes.
Okay. But he did play well enough that if you had balls on the other side, you could score 3 goals on them and win. Yes.
And that's the thing. The team to see that, hey, Bob showed up today. This isn't 5-0 against Tampa. The guys showed up.
Right.
Let's do something.
Yeah.
They didn't do nothing except for those first couple minutes of the third period, really.
Right.
It's
I agree.
pathetic, man.
I agree. I can't argue with that. Myron is the first to chime in with a little super chat. He says, "Oh, since day one I heard the show till now, you have never changed. I will never forget your feud with Two-Face Sid. That guy was something else. Fetal position when he got arrested." Well, I mean, that's, there's not much you can say there, bro. That dude's proven what he is already many times over. So that I can't tell you. I mean, what can I say? The Panthers should change their name to the Crap Birds. All right. I love the Panthers, man. It pisses me off, is what it does. Hey,
it pisses both of us off, man.
Yeah. It's just, you know what? Let's take a quick break here. We'll come back on the other side because I'm already a little late. Quick break. Don't forget that the show is proudly brought to you by Craig Zins, Acura of Pembroke Pines, and right now some great deals. RDX $289, MDX $319, TLX $239, TLX $199 for these 2020 models. Only $29.99 due at signing plus tax tag and registration. They've got financing as low as 0.9%, folks, and they're still offering $750 off for military veterans and $500 off for graduates. Get on down to 15601 Pines Boulevard, just off of I-75 and Pines. Tell them that Big O sent you. They will take care of you, man, at Craig Zins, Acura of Pembroke Pines.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com, a travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com.
It's a buyer's market at Toyota of Hollywood. Over 1,500 Toyotas on the ground, and truckloads just keep on coming. Now pay up to 50% less. 2020 Camry, not $29,000, $17,775. 2020 Corolla, not $22,000, $13,775. Buy a new 2020 Toyota with 0 down and 0% financing, or we'll make your payments till 2021. At Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
We are back. We take you till about 2 if you want to get in on the program. The text line 786-322-1105. That's 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the text line. You can also reach out to us on Twitter at Big O Show. Follow us there as always. And on Twitter at Big O Show is the other way you want to follow us. Let's see. What else do we have here? Would like to see Bob launch to the Seattle Kraken expansion draft. Get him the hell out of here. They won't even take him in the expansion draft at all, dude, because he'll be making so much money. It's just terrible. You know what I mean? So it's that don't expect that to end up happening. All right. Tuesday and Wednesday, they will play back-to-back games now at this point against the Islanders. Games 2 and 3 will be Tuesday and Wednesday, and we'll see what how bad it is. But anyway, the other thing that I wanted to talk about is why am I the only one that goes after Dale Talon? Can anybody explain that one to me? I'm just wondering by now. I don't see the writers. There's only a couple left that cover the Panthers. I don't know if it's maybe they're worried about access or they'll piss them off or whatever. But I'm just wondering, like, I get it on 560 and 790. They're neutered on those stations. They can't go after any coaches. They can't do that. They can't go after presidents. They can't go after coaches. They can't go after general managers. They can't do anything like that because they want fluff radio. So I understand on the audio side. I don't hear from it. I wonder, is it because we went after Parcells after a while. We knew that he was just there in the Dolphins just collecting a check. And Dale Talon is not lazy like Parcells in Saratoga betting horses. Dale is actually here working, but that's actually the scary part. There's a reason why Parcells sucked. He didn't care. He wasn't trying. Dale Talon is actually trying, and he sucks. You know what I mean? And so how long do you wait? You know what I love? You know what's going to happen, right? They're gonna fire him eventually, and then people will come. Well, I knew he wasn't good, and he shouldn't have done it, and I've been thinking for a while that this change was needed, and nobody said anything. I'm just wondering what is holding people back from going after Dale Talon? Because you can't blame the players anymore at this point. They are what they are. They're not going to change. The coach has already proven to me that if he has good players, he can get it done, but he doesn't have good players. Doesn't have a consistent goaltender either. But it is amazing to me how nobody is going after Dale Talon. How nobody points out that he's lost it. Whatever magic he had in Chicago, he never brought it here, bro. And those guys that he put together and we thought they were going to turn into something, they have not turned into anything whatsoever. Anyway, all right. I'm done with the Panthers, at least for now.
I was going to say until tomorrow, right?
No, Wednesday. Well, wait. What tomorrow? What am I going to say? They play.
You're not going to do any preview?
Yeah, that's it. Just preview. Hey, they play. Big deal. They play, and they'll be playing at noon tomorrow.
Yeah, I saw. Obviously we're on the air, but
Bubble.
This 1:30 today and 12 tomorrow, or 11:30 tomorrow, I think is the start of the
tomorrow is noon.
Okay, 11:30 starts the broadcast.
Right,
Sorry,
right,
preview. Yes,
right.
That you probably want to skip.
Yeah, I mean, whatever. So we'll just preview it tomorrow. Although by the end of the show, we might be able to tell you, oh, they suck again. So I guess that we got it. Tommy and Hialeah says, Big O, we got from the Panthers what I expected. Crap. That's right. That's exactly what it is. Jane's probably right. It's just not enough people care. I think that's a lot of it because it doesn't really stir up a lot of emotions. It's not going to get a lot of page views. As many of you probably, many less will tune in. Now at this point, some of you probably tuned out already. Oh, he's talking Panthers. I don't care about that.
But like you pointed out many times, in '96, man, this town was all about the Panthers.
I know.
And if you win, we will come.
Yeah.
And there's a lack of interest because it's back on the Panthers themselves.
Yep. No, you're right about that. The Dolphins, they are getting ready for camp. They've got Eric Flowers was placed on COVID list. So listen, that is going to be the part of many players going on this list. And let's just hope they can stay. I look, baseball, St. Louis has got issues now. This is not going to end. And sports without a bubble, I have a hard time believing. I know college is not going to happen. That's going to be a complete disaster. The NFL, I don't know what's going to happen, man. I really don't. I just, to me, I have a hard time seeing it develop because I think a lot of guys will end up picking this thing up. You know how hard it is for you and I to just avoid COVID every single day? It's a mission to avoid this crap. Can you imagine players and those guys that are, Supermen out there and they think they're Superman and they're going to be going out and partying and all that. They're going to bring it to the locker room and it's going to spread like wildfire. Some guy over the weekend was like, well, don't ever compare baseball to hockey and football and soccer where there are collisions, sweaty collisions, and they're constantly breathing on each other, and there's all kinds of contact. In baseball, there is no contact. The fact that they have so many cases with no contact should tell you what you need to know and how bad it will be for football and everything else. Because think about it. Like the MLS, hey, I want the MLS to survive. I want them to have a season. I think the second they leave the bubble, they're in the same problems that baseball and football are in. Worse than baseball because their sport is contact. And guys are going to go out and guys are going to pick up COVID and they're not going to test positive and they're going to walk into a locker room with no symptoms and they're going to be spreading it to everybody. It's just it's just automatic that it's going to happen. Okay? So we've got Flowers on the COVID list now, and hopefully he can get through it. I don't know, how long he's going to be on this COVID list and get used to it. Because you saw Matthew Stafford was put on it. And luckily for them, it's now. But think about it. You think that's not going to happen during the season? Somebody's going to lose their quarterback for 2 weeks? That's rough, dude. You lose your quarterback for a couple games, that's crushing. And that's going to happen to people all over this league. We talked about this. Wait till a minute before kickoff for every bet that you make, okay? Make sure you try to finish seasons however they can, like baseball, because that's what they're going to do. They're just going to keep rolling, and you got extra players, roll in the new ones, put the COVID ones on the list, and wait till they're healthy again. So we got Dolphins reporting, talking. Fitzpatrick was addressing the media over the weekend. Couple things here. Let's get into Fitzpatrick. And he was asked about his time with Tua so far. And you got to love the approach that he has talking about Tua.
It's not all that difficult for me. I mean, I'm going to go out there and compete every single day, as I know the younger guys are. But in the meeting rooms, I'm not going to keep anything to myself either. I'm going to make someone tell me to shut up, because I'm going to talk as much as I can and share as much as I can with, the intimate knowledge I have of this offense, being in it for 5 years, and really just experience since I've been in the league. And I know that, I don't know how much time it'll be before Tua is in the lineup. I know that I am the placeholder, and we've already had that conversation. I told him, I'm going to do the best I can to lead this team and, to win football games when I'm out there. And whenever it is that Tua gets his chance, whether it's early or late or whenever it is, I'm going to be his biggest cheerleader. And that's what I said earlier. But I think I have a unique perspective just from the career that I've had. And I was excited that they drafted him. And since, meeting him in person finally the other day, I'm really excited. I think we've really hit it off. And even though I'm an old geezer to him, we've meshed personality wise, and I'm excited to work with him.
So that's Fitz talking about it. And listen, can I remind you again how wrong I was about Fitz? Can I just do that again? Huh?
You know what? you're not the only one, man. I think pretty much everybody, you know.
I looked at it the wrong way with Fitz.
Had
You
no
know, I
idea
just
this
looked
guy
at
was
it like the
so-
journeyman that's thrown a ton of interceptions, and that's kind of the way I looked at it, and I lost the big picture of it. And that's where he is priceless.
Guy's super professional, man.
Yeah, and he understands the position that he's in right now, that he's got to mentor the young guys. And whether it was Rosen last year, and obviously we moved on now to Tua, and they've run over Rosen, but that's Rosen's own fault, nobody else's. And you look at what's going on right now, and the way he has a great attitude about this, how he is just going to pour out all his knowledge and allow these young guys to learn from him. And Tua, as you all know, I'm not breaking any news here to you guys. You can tell that he's a great young man and that he's going to take advantage of all these moments and all that information that Fitz is going to spit out. He's going to gobble all of that information up to make himself better. You know what I mean? Because Tua has the right attitude about it also. So it's very important. And the fact, again, remember what I told you about Butler? That I looked at him like, okay, well, you give him the money, will he kind of want to take over and be the man and all that? And he has not. He's wanted the Miami Heat to be the man. He has done what's best for the team, whether it's preparing Kendrick Nunn, if it's working with Tyler Hero, if it's working with Duncan, Silva, whoever the hell else is on that roster. That's what he's been doing. And this is what this guy's doing. The same thing, man. He's working he's doing the professional thing about all of this. And his job is to try to win. His job is to try to develop Gesicki. His job is to try to develop Rosen. His job is to try to develop Tua. His job is to help develop Devontae Parker. His job, you get what I'm saying? You know, what's the name of the Isaiah Ford kid? All of these receivers took steps forward because Fitz helped those guys. We saw Gesicki do things he couldn't do the year before, and it's because Fitz is the one that probably helped him along the way with confidence, with ability, with opportunities. All of those things must have been in the huddle. It must have been in the meeting rooms. It must have been moments on the side where Fitz reached Gesicki where others could not. You understand? And so you got to love everything about Fitz. And where I was dead wrong about him was I was thinking small picture, not big picture, and how much he could mean in the big picture. And again, kudos to Chris Greer. Kudos to Brian Flores for bringing him on and understanding what he could bring to the table as a big picture. This weekend, one of my posts with Heineken this weekend, I had a throwback Tampa Bay Mutiny shirt, right? And there's this guy that runs a website. It's called Route One Soccer, and he's a decent person, you know, overall. But you know, he has a tendency of whining and complaining a lot, and so he goes, you know, I get your promotion, but why are you wearing a defunct jersey of a team that is no longer around? And I go to him, dude, and he goes, oh, and you should only be wearing Miami jersey. That's it. And I said to him, yo, my brother, listen, first of all, you don't get it. It's about big picture. And first, it's called throwback. I have a throwback MLS jersey. Tampa Bay Mutiny don't exist anymore. It's actually a really fresh jersey. If you saw it, it's a really cool jersey. Okay? But I was a Mutiny fan to a certain extent, is what I told him. Because when the Mutiny started, we didn't have the Fusion. We had not expanded yet. So I went up to the Mutiny a couple times to go see games and to, you know, check it out, cover it, and then come back. And I would talk about it on my Spanish sports talk show and on 940 Wins on Radio Acción on 8:30. I had La Ensalada Deportiva. And then on 940 Wins that I did stuff there. So I would talk about it because I've always been a soccer guy. Like I told them, when we didn't have Orlando City, I was a Portland Timbers fan. That's who I chose. Just like I chose the Phillies, the Sixers, and the Flyers when I didn't have the Heat, the Panthers, and the Marlins. I didn't grow up with those teams. I only grew up with football. I only had a football team in college and in the NFL, and I had the Strikers in the old NASL. So I was a Portland Timbers fan. Then we got Orlando City, and I said, you know what? I'm going to support Orlando City because they're the state team right now. And then when we got Inter, thank the Lord, now Orlando can go screw themselves. I don't really mean it, in a bad way, but, hey, Inter Miami is God now. See? That's my team. It's always going to be. All Miami teams are my teams because that's who I am. But I told them I appreciated that Tampa had the mutiny while I didn't have the fusion because it gave me something. And just because I have Inter Miami locally, do you think I'm going to crap on Miami FC? You think I'm going to crap on Miami Beach FC, on Himmershey, on Boca, any of the local teams? Hell no, dude. I'm going to support soccer overall because it's big picture. So what I told him, I said, dude, you don't get it. It's big picture. I want you to survive. You're covering soccer. I want Franco Panizzo. I want Michelle Kaufman. That's how it goes, dude. You want to support the people that are covering the sport. You want to support the teams, too. That's what I do. So when we brought back the Strikers, it was actually Miami FC. I rooted for Miami FC, and then Tim Robbie came in and switched it back to the Strikers, which was fresh, which I'm going to use a Strikers jersey on my next promo. But, it's because it's big picture, and that's what I missed with Fitzpatrick. I missed the big picture. I was dead wrong on that. I was just thinking, he's just a bridge. He's going to throw a bunch of interceptions, and then we'll hand it off to Rosen, and then we'll just continue trying to develop Rosen. I did not look at it that he would be the perfect mentor in the process. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I got to give him a lot of credit and a lot of maturity. 786-322-1105 on the text line if you want to get in. 786-322-1105.
You get kind of a pass because think about it. Does anybody else know how great Don Strock was?
No.
Only us because he was involved with us.
Right.
Until the guy gets in your yard and you see what he does and get the whole lowdown, you really don't know what he is about.
Yeah.
Nobody appreciates Strock like us.
Fine.
And we have Fitzpatrick now when we could see.
But fair is fair. If I'm going to tell you when I'm right, I'm going to tell you when I'm freaking wrong.
You had no idea because you didn't.
You gotta be fair, bro. You gotta be fair.
Well, if we were to go out to anybody and say, "Hey, Strock was a great guy," like really, they'd look at you like, "Who?
Right.
What?"
They won't understand.
Exactly.
And
it's understandable that we wouldn't know.
Right.
The only thing we've seen is the Sunday production, and it's been really great at times, and then just that bad as well.
And on the flip side, the back end of this story is Josh Rosen. And you listen to Fitz and how he's connected with Tua and how after meeting with Tua and I'm the place guy for Tua, there's no Rosen anymore. Okay? And he didn't look at it that way and didn't talk about it publicly that way with Rosen last year. He looked at it completely different now with Tua because it was kind of a throw-in trade that you made last year for Rosen. This, when you take the number 5 overall pick in the first round, there's you got a second rounder and made him 2 second rounders and picked Rosen. So it was like a freebie pick for you. You hit it, great. You didn't, you still have your second rounder. So you just delayed it for a year is what you did with your second rounder. So you can be measured by that second rounder, not by Rosen, but at least you took a shot. Now you take a shot on Tua, and even Fitz knows Rosen wasn't going to take my job. This guy is. And this is the message that needs to be, and in a way, this is great for Josh Rosen. Believe it or not, this is a good thing for Josh Rosen because he was drafted to be the heir apparent in Arizona, and then it was snatched from you. And now they brought in another kid, and they got rid of you. Now you got an opportunity. You did not shine. You did not get it done. Not all of it was your fault, because I'm not going to do that to Josh Rosen. It's unfair, okay? Line was terrible. He was not experienced, and they dropped a bunch of passes that his outings would have looked a little different if some of these guys would have hung on to some of these balls, because there were a couple of really beautiful deep balls that he threw that Parker and Preston Williams dropped, okay? So I can't blame everything on him, but he didn't do enough. And he did enough to force you to draft Tua. So now Josh Rosen has to become the most motivated individual in the world. You see how Cam Newton is putting out all those videos and all that hype and everything, because he is legitimately focused on being a badass again this year. Whether he can or can't, that's a whole different ballgame. That's another discussion. But what you cannot deny is that dude is motivated. Well, Josh Rosen needs to find somewhere deep down inside, because he's kind of a mellow guy, and he does play with a little moxie. I'll give it to him. But I think he's got to now open up a little bit more. And he's got to understand that, bro, you're just another speed bump here. You were a speed bump in Zona. Now you're a speed bump here, and you're off and running, and you're going to be moved at one point or another down the line. So do something about it, dude. Make something happen in practice, okay? Do things in practice that go, whoa, what's going on here? You know what I mean? Hell, do something that maybe you even force them to play you to showcase your ass and say, you know what, we can hold off Tua a little bit, and we can still say, hey, Rosen's got a little more experience than Tua. That's why you can play with it with the media and fans, and you can still justify it. Hey, Tua hasn't had a year removed from hip surgery. We're still trying. It's week 3. We want to get Rosen some work in here. He's been practicing really, really well. Now you start to talk him up and try to trade him. You know what I'm saying? So it's up to Rosen to create that controversy. It's up to Rosen to make them not say we want Rosen over Tua, but just to say, yo, we got to start showcasing him so we can move him and create value. But it's up to Rosen. Okay? It's a terrible analogy, but I'll tell you, it's like the person with addictions. Okay? You can try to help somebody with addictions, but until they want to stay away from the refrigerator, they're not going to do it. You can put a lock on it or whatever. They're going to get in their car and they're going to go to the corner and they're going to go to the gas station and go buy themselves the Twinkies there. Okay? You can hide whatever you want in the fridge. They'll go to a drive-thru, right? They go to work and they'll stop at a drive-thru on the way to work and to work that you didn't know about, and that's it. You know what I mean? So it's the same thing. You can't help the addict until the addict is willing to help themselves, correct? Well, Josh Rosen, my brother, they've helped you already. It's up to you now to help yourself. 786-322-1105. That's 786-322-1105. Let's take a break. We'll come back on the other side right here on The Big O Show.
It's a buyer's market at Toyota of Hollywood. Over 1,500 Toyotas on the ground, and truckloads just keep on coming. Now pay up to 50% less. 2020 Camry, not $29,000, $17,775. 2020 Corolla, not $22,000, $13,775. Buy a new 2020 Toyota with 0 down and 0% financing, or we'll make your payments till 2021. At Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com, a travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com.
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O Show.
All right. We back. There you go. There you go, Myron. I see you're watching. Just for you.
I'm going to have to borrow that book one day.
Yeah. It's a heavy book.
1,001 movies, and based on the number of pages, and I'm sure it has many, many pictures.
Yes.
How
many pages? 1,000 something?
I was going to say, it's probably, they just said 1,001 because it's catchy. It's probably got more movies than 1,001, I would venture to guess.
Let's see. Without the index, it's at 949. Without the index. The index adds,
are there many pictures in this book?
969 total in the book with the index and everything.
Later, we'll go for ice cream.
There you go.
Do you remember any of that?
Yes.
Arthur, I love that. Look at this magazine. There are many pictures.
Always my favorite books. The ones
I
with
hate
pictures.
this place. That's because people work here.
That's that was my favorite books. The ones with pictures. You can get through them a lot quicker. Let's see what we got here. Rosen needs to be featured during the COVID years so that we can get a third rounder for him in 2021. Think about it. Greer took Talib's salary for a fifth rounder, then traded that fifth for Matt Breida. Wow. Now, Greer is, I can't, I mean, even the Rosen move. He got a second rounder, made it 2 second rounders, and deferred it for this past season. And now he took Rosen as a freebie. I mean, that's how you do things, to try to try to get over the hump and try to create opportunities for yourself. And if they don't work, you go get another quarterback, and you go get another quarterback. I love this philosophy. This is a philosophy I've always wanted the Dolphins to have after Marino, is keep going for quarterbacks until you hit on one. Eventually you will. Andre V says, Miami everything, Big O. I am too. Damn right. James Roman says, how many Tampa Bay fans were Dolph fans before they got the Bucks? It's a Florida thing, baby. Exactly. Hello, everybody. Would love to see Fitz become a coach after he retires. Players will love him. So Pat in Asheville says, why is Spider-Man is shaking his head at O? Oh, because there's a fan above, and the fan is going round, and so the wind from the fan
is just swiveling in the breeze.
Yeah, the fan from the wind from the fan is making it moves Spidey. I had to move Spidey over because again, and I got creative to put Spidey in the picture because I'm losing space here, bro. It's I don't know what else to do, man. As things keep being added on to the studio, it's I got to get creative. So I move my Spidey around. Anyway, if you want to get in on the text line, it's 786-322-1105. If you want to get in, that's 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the text line, as always, we appreciate all of you out there always supporting the show. Let me see what we do have on the text line for you guys here. What the hell is going on here? Here we go. See if we got. There we go. All right, maybe I can pull it up now. The damn text line. I'll be pulling it up in a second here. As I guess I thought I had a page dedicated to it on my iPad here, but apparently I screwed up.
How unlike you.
Yeah, huh? And I didn't have the damn page in set up here. All right, that's all right. We'll get it done one way or another. There we go. All right. What else do we? I got a bunch of things that I want to talk about. Bobby McCain. I want to get into a little Dolphins talk with you guys. Also, here we go. I would appreciate an introduction to Mike. I just wanted to share an idea about possible collaboration and work research. Okay. Oh, that's right. You know what? I forgot there. Let me send your number to him because I did not. This was on Friday that you sent this, Doug, right? I'm pretty sure this was you, right, Doug? Yes, it is. All right, Doug. I will get your number out to him right away. I'll send it to him in the next break. Let me write your number down, and I will send it out, my brother. Okay? I will get that done. My bad. Big O, Drew Brees donates another $5 million to create community health centers in Louisiana. Who dat? And that's James in the DR. Damn right. Drew Brees is a good dude, man. He coming out smashing chicken nuggets on Saturday and hopefully do the same to Toronto today. I am looking forward to that. I'm with you. Big O, I don't know if you heard Armando on Joe this morning, but he was saying that Tua should start week one if he beat out Ryan and Josh for the job. I disagree with him. I think Tua should have red shirt this year, healthy. G from Pennsylvania. Did not hear that, but I would disagree with Armando. I couldn't disagree with him more. Tua has no business starting in week one because they have no offensive line. So to me, it's a ridiculous thing to even start him in week one. Big O, love the show. Are you going to see Alex Dono anytime soon? Yes, I see Dono all the time. Dono is working with me. La phone lines. I don't know. There's no phone lines yet. When we come up with a phone that's portable, then I'll be able to add it on. RVA says, listening to Fitz versus Brett Favre and Aaron Rodgers not wanting to help. Exactly. Right? Exactly. And Fitz is not like that, which, you got to love that, man. That he has handled it the right way. Let me also tell you, let's talk a little bit because I wanted to get into a little Bobby McCain. Because I thought Bobby McCain also talked about something over the weekend that is really important. And it is, I think it's important, but it's going to be hard to execute. And he's one of the guys that could actually execute it. But the question is, will he be able to pull it off in that locker room? Will guys actually respond to him is the thing. And Bobby's one of those guys that you have to respect because Bobby's a slot corner that ended up moving for the team to safety. And his body was not made for it. He even suffered a shoulder injury with it all. But he showed you that kind of leadership and how much he cared for the team that the coaches asked him to do them a favor to move there, and he was willing to do it and sacrifice himself for it. And you've got to respect that, and I know guys in the locker room are going to respect that. So, as training camp gets underway, the Dolphins, the defensive back, Bobby McCain, emphatically stated on Saturday that it's up to him and his fellow NFL players to hold teammates accountable for their actions. He says it's paramount, according to Grant Gordon from NFL.com. He goes, you've got to hold your brothers accountable. As far as stepping out and going to dinner with a lot of people, going to nightclubs, going to bars, being with different women, McCain told the media on Saturday via Josh Tolentino, whatever you bring home, you're bringing to the family. It's definitely going to take a lot of discipline. The most disciplined team will end up laying the most games and being the healthiest at the end of the day. And he's right. And I don't know if they can pull this off in the NFL because every team has a couple of knuckleheads that ruin it for everybody else and give the team bad PR. And when those guys screw up and bring COVID, it's literally going to screw people over and knock them out of the team. So how does Bobby McCain get on a guy for going to the club? How does Bobby McCain get on them for going out with women? What, and are you following all your teammates on social media? And what if guys are smart enough to say, hey, I can't, the Lou Williams thing is teaching people a lesson. Not that you should know that by now, that if you don't want somebody to find out something, don't put it on social media, of course, right? I mean, come on. But the Lou Williams thing by the moron rapper who put out the picture of him and Lou got him in trouble. Well, guys are going to look at that and say, okay, well, I got to go out with this woman. I am not going to put this on social media. I'm going out with 8 of my fellas. I'm not putting this out on social media. So how do you track that? How do you find out about that if you're Bobby McCain? So it sounds great in theory that you want to track your teammates, you want to show some leadership, you want to teach them all of the. Or he's dropping in some IG model's DMs and trying to meet up with her. Pros, a little bit of a window of opportunity is, I told you, they've got wives, they've got girlfriends, they've got cars, they've got mortgages, they've got a lot of things they've got to pay. So now, if they start to police themselves and they make it a thing like, hey, guys, let's be smart, man. Let's go home, hang out with your family. If you need to hang out with somebody from the team. You single guys, hang out together. Don't hang out with strangers. Don't welcome in friends from out of town. Don't do any of that stuff. Let's try to get through this season. And I'll give you something here that might help Bobby McCain. His name is Brian Flores. Because Brian Flores last year created an environment that fought through adversity. And not a lot of coaches can accomplish that. A lot of times when you have adversity, it sinks your ass and you're done. And you lose your team. They don't try. Adam Gase, whatever, all these other type of coaches, and your team's gone. They tune your ass out. Okay? We saw that with Cam Cameron here. Tuned his ass out. It happens. I've witnessed it personally. That players don't care about the coach. But Brian Flores didn't do that last year. He created an environment first 2 games they lost by 4,000 points. At that point, everybody's making fun of you. At that point, you say, I'm turning off the coach. I'm not doing this anymore. And they did. That means these guys are playing for themselves, for each other, for the team. Maybe even for Brian Flores. Think about that. It's pretty cool. So the fact that a lot of these guys might be pumped up about what they accomplished last year, and I know some of you, 5-11, oh, what's that? No, that's a lot, considering they had no talent, and they started off 0-7, and they ended up the season 5-4 in the last 9 games, and they beat a Patriot team that desperately needed that game, oh, they built something. And now everybody wants to be there. Nobody's dropping out for COVID reasons. People are catching COVID, but they're not going, you know what, I'm passing up on this season. So maybe there's a chance guys bond. Maybe there's a chance they do look out for each other. Maybe there's a chance they sacrifice for each other. That, hey, guys, we're not in a bubble, but let's create our own bubble. We only got to do it for a couple of months. Lord knows your family will be happy seeing you every day, I would imagine, at least. You don't need to go to the club, man. You can go to the club when this thing is done. Why do you want to go to the club anyways? You want to pick up COVID? So you don't need to do that, guys. Hey, let's focus on this. Let's do what's best for us. Young guys, you want to make the team, you want to get a bigger contract, focus on this. Maybe he and others can police it, because obviously Bobby can't do it by himself. He's going to need Fitzpatrick to help police this thing. He's going to need Kyle Van Noy to police this. You know what I'm saying? It can't be just one guy. It has to be several veteran leaders on this team. And then the young guys, like Tua, has to show that kind of maturity. And remember, when your quarterbacks are the most dedicated players on the team, it's going to be a little easier to get others to follow. Okay? I mean, Tom Brady left, and they're not as focused in New England. They're dropping like flies and all that. He goes to Tampa, and nobody's off that gravy train. Everybody. Think about this. The Dolphins have no shot at a title, and everybody's committed to the team. The Bucs have every shot at the title, and everybody's committed to the team. New England loses their guy that has led them to 6 titles, and people are getting off the bandwagon. I'm just saying, maybe Bobby's onto something. Maybe he might be able to do it. Who knows? Who knows? All right, 786-322-1105. That's 786-322-1105. Myron says, I can't believe you still have the book, and it's a hardcover. Of course, dude. Why wouldn't I have the book? I told you guys. I'm not going to just be when somebody gives me a present, you know, you took the time to find the present. Whether they gave it to you, whether you bought it, whatever, but you made an effort to bring it to me, to give it to me. So I'm going to cherish it, man. It means a lot. I don't see a lot of hosts getting presents. Just saying. I'm not special or anything, but I'm just saying I've watched other hosts over the years. Just a regular dude doing radio, that's all.
I'm just saying I would like to borrow it.
Well, you can borrow it, but you better take care of it because I've had it for a long time. Kenneth Cleveland sends us a super chat. Thank you, Kenneth Cleveland. He says, live in the house from the 305 Boom Boom Room. I like it. I like it. It's always good to be in the Boom Boom Room. Yes.
Shall we?
Shall we? Oh, yes. Go ahead.
We want information. Who are you?
I'm a go-getter.
Who are you?
Dumbass material all the way.
I am not.
Dumbass.
I am
Super chat. Love it. There we go. A little new, a new addition to the super chat drops just for you guys, for Myron and Kenneth Cleveland. 2 super chatters already this morning. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Or shall I say this afternoon? Dude, it's already 1 o'clock. It's already 2 hours?
No. No.
Wow.
Oh, it is. Oh, wow.
1 o'clock. You know how many things I have to talk about today? I got like a lot of things.
Is it not awesome that sports are back?
No, man. I know. It's so awesome. So, you know, here's another thing that I wanted to talk about. We'll go.
I mean, we're not even getting the full dose that we could be getting, like you pointed out. I would be obviously doing the Yankees and the Marlins,
Yeah.
juggling them both. But, I mean, got a nice dose, man.
Yeah. Yeah, no, definitely. And your Yankees. Dude, Aaron Judge, bro. Wow.
Well, we had Player of the Week last week, Giancarlo Stanton.
Yeah.
We will have Player of the Week, Aaron Judge.
Oh, sure, dude. Wow.
Do you know that he had 2 game-winning hits, and he had 2 game-winning hits all of last year?
Yeah,
He's already met it.
Yeah. But it's such a great lineup. God, it is such a great lineup.
He has
It's impossible.
6 home runs, and this is the thing,
Boy.
impact. All 6 of them have either tied or taken the lead.
Yeah. No,
Like,
he's
showing
he's
up.
healthy now. He's on a roll. He's feeling good. Stanton's in the lineup. They haven't had a lot of this.
The thing that's scary is
When you have
Gleyber
those-
Torres isn't doing anything, and neither is Sanchez.
But that lineup is so loaded.
yeah, you don't, right.
When Gleyber goes, then Judge might be in a little bit
Somebody
of a
else
slump
gets
or
to take
something.
a day off.
I mean, you don't want to see those 9 guys on a roll. I mean, my Lord. It's like, and you know what? You're almost at a point like, I'm sorry. You want to see the Yankees in the World Series because it's fun to watch.
You know what, though? Bottom
They're
line,
loaded, bro.
with that 3 out of
loaded.
5, 8 playing 1, as most seasons, it really doesn't matter
No,
what
not
you
in-
do.
no, in baseball.
September 27, it ends. What do you do in October?
No, baseball's
That's
the worst.
all it's about, bro.
Baseball's the worst. In basketball and football, the
Usually the best team is the one that walks away.
especially basketball. 99.99999999999% of time, because it's not even a percent.
Unless
bro.
you have a rash, Golden State. Unless you have a rash
that's
of
the 0.9.
injuries.
That's it.
Yep.
That's it. That's the 0.9 that is just.
The injuries.
It's just not going to happen, bro. It's just not going to happen. But those guys are loaded, bro. Loaded. I mean, and if they're getting pitching, forget about it. It's over. All rise for the judge. That's what man of 1,005 hold says. You are correct, sir. Sounds like a noble idea. NFL players acting like good angels. Well, not good angels, but act responsibly. Really, it's what it is. It's like all these Kens and Karens out there that don't want to be responsible. Oh, I don't want to wear a mask. It's against my my American rights. It's against my religion. It makes it worse. It's going to make me sick. I mean, they come up with all these stupid excuses. None of them, by the way, are actually legit. Okay? The only one might be is if you actually have a real breathing issue that you can't put on a mask because it gets in the way of your breathing or something like that. If the thing that developed also from press conference today, Brian Flores for the Dolphins was talking with the media, and he addressed the Josh Rosen situation. And the question was asked, has Josh Rosen, knowing that Tua's in the mix, Fitz is starting, and he might be out of the mix, has there been any request from Josh Rosen and his representatives to be released or even traded? Or what is the plan for Josh Rosen? Here is what Flo had to say about Rosen.
The vision for Josh is the same vision for every player. He'll come in, it's a new offense, new teammates. So learn the playbook, get to know your teammates, work hard in practice, try to improve every day, take advantage of your opportunities, take advantage of your reps, and let your play on the field. What you do on the field will, at the end of the day, you'll earn your reps on the field based on how you play in practice. So, that hasn't changed for Josh or anyone else on the roster.
And listen, that should be the inspiration for Josh Rosen. And for those of you out there going, what do you mean, oh? Well, Preston Williams, he's undrafted and he ended up starting. Nick Needham looked like he belonged in the XFL practice squad. Okay, a shit about where you were drafted, about where you were picked, what your salary cap situation is. That guy just wants to win. He's been telling you that from day one when everybody thought he was tanking. And he's like, no, dude, we're trying to win here. Whether you want to believe it or not, we are doing our best to try to win. We have limitations we have to overcome. which they tried. But if you're Josh Rosen, you have to feel like I am going to be given a shot. And this is where everything that's gone on with Josh has been legitimate here. He got traded for. He got an opportunity. He just wasn't, he didn't show that he was prepared. And he didn't overcome at times. And if you don't find a way, bro, there was chaos all over. And Fitzpatrick figured out a way to do something. And then when Fitz is doing it and you get your opportunity and you don't, and that's what ends up forcing them to draft Tua. Because you're like, okay, we're not going to pass up another quarterback here. Maybe Rosen's a late sleeper, a late developer or whatever, as they say. A late bloomer. I'm sorry. There you go. That's what I wanted. Maybe he's a late bloomer. There have been other guys that took him 3, 4, 5 years to figure out how to play the quarterback position in the NFL. Josh won't be the first, but Chris Greer and Brian Flores are not going to sit around and wait for somebody to develop. That doesn't make any sense. Do you know why? The NFL doesn't give you that much time. You got to go out there. And let me be honest, because that's what we like to do on this. We got 2 black dudes running the show. So if you normally don't get that much time to turn a team around and you're white, can you imagine if you're black? Do you think they're going to show you patience? No. No, dude. They're not. So, and Chris Greer knows that. Brian Flores knows that. It's like, hey, we got our opportunity, but let's not kid ourselves. We're black. Okay? And we know what happens when you're black in this league. Right? You bet your life that that's what's going on. So they know they got to win. They got to prove. And even in the first year where they tore everything down to the bone, by the end of the year, they convinced everybody pretty much to a man and woman like, whoa, these guys might be pretty damn good. Because Flores showed you something. Because Chris Greer has now shown you something since he took over. Ryan Fitzpatrick showed you something. Preston Williams showed you something. Devontae Parker showed you something. Mike Gesicki showed you something. You get what I'm saying? Nick Needham showed you something. Wilkins got better as the year went on, your first-round pick. Josh Rosen, what did you do, bro? Did you grow at any point? No. Because you didn't impress in practice enough. You didn't impress in the classroom probably enough. And you certainly did not impress on the field enough. So here's your opportunity. And the coach is telling you, he's no different than anybody else. And if he goes out and balls out over Tua, he will get the starting job after Fitz. But he's got to go out there and ball out and create a problem for the coach and say, whoa, wait a minute, hold on a second. Have you watched him? He's made less mistakes than Tua. In the classroom, he's getting everything right over Tua. He's got to do that. Josh Rosen should be super motivated to become the starting quarterback and to beat Tua out for the job. If he does enough, that coach will give you, that coach wants to win. It's his ass on the line every single day. He wants to win. So, Josh, show him you can, come up with some winning football. Don't forget, Toyota of Hollywood, a proud sponsor of our program. We love Steve Ostrov and all the great people out there. Go see Herbie Lopez. He is a gem. One of the best human beings you will meet on the planet, man. A great dude. Gary Thompson. Rick's out there. Eddie's out there. Eddie's a really cool guy. You'll love Eddie. Tell them that Big O sent you. He'll take care of you. Azric Smith is out there. Joel Rubio, Lori Rodriguez, the lovely and talented one. Some great people out there, incredible salespeople, a service center that is second to none. They are awesome. That service center is as impressive as it gets. I mean, we're talking about 400,000 square feet. We're talking over 1,500 cars and trucks to choose from. So that way you get the selection. You want the car, you want the color, you want the style, you want the model you want. But more importantly, the price you want at 1841 North State Road 7. Tell Steve Ostrov and company that Big O sent you, man. It's Toyota of Hollywood.
expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out MikeNoGoZones.com, a travel documentary that's breaking barriers. I go to the places that the media tells you to fear, where no one else dares to go. Baltimore, Opelika, South Side of Chicago, and more. Go to MikeNoGoZones.com.
It's a buyer's market at Toyota of Hollywood. Over 1,500 Toyotas on the ground, and truckloads just keep on coming. Now pay up to 50% less. 2020 Camry, not $29,000, $17,775. 2020 Corolla, not $22,000, $13,775. Buy a new 2020 Toyota with 0 down and 0% financing, or we'll make your payments till 2021 at Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street.
This is the Big O Show. 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 This is the Big O.
All right, we back. He goes, "Oh, you were wrong. You are a special person because you care for all your fans. Enough proof is behind you with all your fans' collections. Hey, Bill, are you really a Deadmau5 fan? Have you ever seen his live shows?"
Actually, I am a Deadmau5 fan, but I have not seen a live show. The one that I missed the most, I had a friend that was taking care of one of the bars during when Tommy Lee was playing drums for Deadmau5, and said that when they were doing one of the sound checks and stuff, like a bunch of people, "Oh my God, that's Tommy." And the guy was so cool. Tommy jumped off the stage, came out to the front, was high-fiving everybody and rapping with them and stuff.
Okay.
Really would have liked to have seen it. And you remember when we saw Motley Crue, when he did his solo and went up to the top of the rafters on that
Yes.
on that
On the spinning
train
thing,
thing, that he was actually playing some of his Deadmau5 stuff.
Yeah, that's right. I have not seen Myron any Deadmau5 stuff. Not that I would, but he might be able to if we go to Vegas one day, because there's always a couple of those EDM guys doing their thing in Vegas. Happens a lot.
I mean, look, I don't like all of it, but Swedish House Mafia, Midnight. Oh God, what's the name of the band? I can't even remember now. Obviously, Eric Prydz. There's Zed. Love Zed. Cascade. There's so. I mean,
Isn't that dishwashing liquid?
No.
Huh?
No. Sorry.
Cascade.
This is with a K, sir.
Oh, okay. Ancient Chinese secret, huh? All right, anyway, 786.
That's Calgon, buddy.
Oh, it's Calgon. Okay, 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the text line, that's 786-322-1105. Alex says, Rosen is young, and I think he's talented. He needs a chance, and I think this year he will turn the corner. Let's see. We shall see. George says, never saw really show emotions either. Just saying. Now Myron says, Bill, I'll take you to a dead mouse show when COVID-19 vaccine is out, I promise.
That sounds awesome.
And he goes, damn, Bill, you know your EDM. There you go. I don't, but he does. What can I tell you? All right, 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the text line. Clippers, did you guys see how they blew out the Pelicans? And I wanted to talk about this because they blew them out 126-103. They were up by like 20-something points at halftime. And the Pelicans have lost both their games that they've played so far in the bubble. Zion has been limited in minutes. And I got to tell you something. For me, the one thing that stands out about all of this is that the NBA, man, you look stupid. You look really stupid and really greedy right now because you had a player that wasn't healthy enough to play a full 28, 30 minutes in a game. A kid that, yes, I want to see. He played like 18 minutes in that first game, and all 18 minutes were pretty spectacular. He made a couple of really nice moves that you were like, wow, this kid's talented, right? But what you did was you expanded the playoffs to 22 teams, and you added 6 extra teams, which put more people at risk, which created more expenses for you, and you ended up having to include teams like Washington in there because they were just right in the same neighborhood as the Pelicans, but yet they have no chance at the playoffs. And the Pelicans, just because you wanted to sell Zion, so you wanted to sell a player that wasn't healthy enough to play full games and a team that isn't good enough right now to play at this current time and even get in the playoffs. So you wasted everybody's time. You brought in teams that nobody wants to see anyways. We should have just gone straight to the 16 teams that are in the playoffs and screw it, dude. That's it. If there was a team that was one game out of the 8th spot, we'll have the 9th and the 8th team play a 3-game set, like a throw it, like the college thing, the play-in game, right? A play-in series, and that's it. Everybody waits out. That's all. And that one team is the 17th team in the conference. That okay, you wanted to give them a legitimate shot, and that's it. Okay? And it's over. But why create all of this, and now it makes you look really stupid and really greedy? Because you were only after the money and the ratings. Because, okay, well, if we add the 6 teams, we'll add a few more games. People will see Zion, and they'll get – and I will admit, I want to watch the games that Zion is in. But over the weekend, that game was unwatchable. Because the Pelicans weren't even competitive in that game. They looked like they were uninterested in that game, and that, especially the first half. The second half, it's almost like they got ripped and they showed some kind of effort in the second half. But in the first half, and you're so young. Remember what I was talking about with the Heat? Like, you see effort, you see, hunger. They might make mistakes. They may not be great defensively. They have some of their negatives because they're young. But the Pelicans, you're gonna go into that game and show me nothing. Wow. I just saw that, and it just makes you look ridiculous. NBA. And it's insulting that you ended up forcing this kid and this team onto this situation, and they weren't even ready for it. Embarrassing, dude.
Zion is controlled with his minutes, almost like young pitchers with their pitch count.
Right.
It is incredible how just held back this guy is, man. Let the reins go. Let him run.
Well, but if it's not, you should have known that, and you should not be bringing Zion back. He obviously needed the offseason because he's not healthy enough. If he's not healthy enough to run out there for 25, 30 minutes, what the hell were you doing for months? He looked cut and all that. Well, dude, then I thought that means you're in shape and you're ready to go. Oh, no, we got to limit his minutes. Then what the hell do you have here? It just, to me,
I'd like to see a full go. When he was getting 19 minutes, the kid was averaging 23 points a game and showing up everywhere else in the box score. Man, wouldn't you like to see this kid play for a full 30, 35?
Yes.
Wouldn't it be something? I mean, I'd like to see the numbers he could put up, man.
It would be nice. It would be nice, but wow. That was terrible, dude. The Rock, congratulations to The Rock, baby. Thank you, Rock, because on this show, we are XFL fans. We were a little disappointed with the XFL that it went down, but that's because of COVID and everything else. But if you really looked at it objectively, it was getting enough buzz. It was getting people to watch. And even with COVID starting, it still was getting attendance. And there were some places where it was attended really, really well. And so The Rock and a partner just bought it for $15 million. It says the WWE legend just teamed up with an investment group to snatch up Vince McMahon's XFL league for $15 million. The league had filed for bankruptcy after being resurrected for the 2020 season and was supposed to be auctioned off to the highest bidder on Monday. So Dwayne and his partner, Danny Garcia, from Rock's business partner and ex-wife and partner at Redbird Capital, Jerry Cardinal, swooped in and bought it up this weekend before it hit the auction block. The deal must now be approved in bankruptcy court on Friday, and everything goes smoothly. It could close by August 21st. The Rock, along with Danny and Redbird, are reportedly 50-50 partners in the deal. Okay? So this is pretty cool. I like it personally for me because I want another league. I want a spring league, and I really liked what they did. And several of their players got NFL gigs. So the people that were in charge of those teams did a really good job of finding players that were on the brink and on that bubble of either XFL or NFL. And they were good enough to make that crossover there. And even a couple of quarterbacks, too. So I really love the idea of all of this. In fact, I hope that because The Rock is The Rock, I hope he somehow talks with the NFL and makes some kind of a deal where they can become a feeder system, where the NFL can send some of their practice squad players, their really young players that aren't going to get playing time, there to the XFL to play some and develop. I don't know if it'll happen, but it would be really nice if they're able to pull something off like this. But for me personally, I got to tell you, I love this. Now, is Vince McMahon using The Rock as a way to keep the team through legal holes, loopholes and all that stuff, have The Rock run it, but it's really Vince McMahon behind the scenes? I have no idea. Because, watching it be The Rock buy it, and The Rock also, he's going to be able to promote the league because he can do the promos himself. Like he does for that Gladiator type show. Yeah, I know it's not called Gladiator or whatever, but it's whatever it is that I forgot the name of it.
Some semblance of some like Gladiator thing.
Whatever. And he does it. And he does the promos for it and all that because it's the freaking Rock, dude. He's got more personality than most of us combined. You know what I mean? So I love it, man. I am really happy that he bought it, whether he bought it for McMahon back or whatever, if they're rigging it, or he's really going to be in charge of it. And although it would be kind of funny to see The Rock become the commissioner of the XFL, that would be pretty awesome. That would be pretty awesome. But thank you, Rock. I appreciate you, my brother, for keeping the XFL alive. I am a happy camper that you have kept the XFL alive. That is some awesome stuff, man. Very nice.
Key to any secondary league, if you can get in bed with the NFL and make it a feeder, a minor league for them,
Right.
that would be the one cat that it would kind of seal the deal.
Yeah.
You would have sustained viewing interest because it would be connected to a team. And I think that's the one component, man, that the league is missing more than anything else is being able to connect and associate with that's my team.
Right.
You have a rooting interest like we
Right.
talk about.
Yeah.
If you don't have look at you. As much as you love soccer, without a dog in the fight in the MLS,
Oh yeah,
where
I lost interest.
you have to
And
have a dog in the fight, man.
Yeah, yeah. And I followed it with Portland, but casually. And then I got Orlando, and I followed it casually. Now with Inter, it's different. Now I'm watching all the games. I'm on top of it. I'm learning the league. So yeah, it's a different ball game, man. It's a different ball game. Julius 305 says going to VSS to buy a new pipe. Excellent. Make sure you tell them, hey, you get 20% off when you mention me. 20% off at VSS West Pines. So make sure you mention yours truly when you go to VSS West Pines to buy anything. It doesn't matter if you're buying a humidifier, if you're buying a water pipe, if you're buying CBD, if you're buying a killer glow-in-the-dark ashtray.
Darth Vader,
whatever.
The WB Frog, glass bowl.
Everything that's there, dude. Anything. An R2-D2 bong, which is just amazing. Go check it out. 20% off anything there in the store. Mention my name, okay? All right? There you go. Julius 305 says, I want to smoke what Tremolio is smoking now. What do you do? That XFL price was a hell of a deal. They will be able to flip it for 10 times that price and then use the profits to run for president of 2024 with Kanye. Tremolio he's okay. He runs with Kanye and The Rock, and then Candace Owens running the campaign. That's a good one, Tremolio. I like it.
If The Rock runs, he's going to want to win.
Candace Owens is like way out there, dude. Like way out there, man. Speaking of way out there, did you see what the NFL's trying to do now? You see all these opt-outs now that are happening, right? Left and right, players are opting out, and hell, you saw now in baseball. Not only did what's it called, Cespedes, but Lorenzo Cain. But now he did it the right way. He did it. He told him ahead of time. He had a conversation, all that. And but Cespedes was like, I'm out of here, man.
Tuck tail and run.
Yeah, Cespedes was like, get that. I'm out of here, dude. What? Who's what? What? Sturgis rally is going. Oh, I'm going out to that concert. So that's where you'll see Cespedes. But the NFL now, the opt-out deadline for players is now expected to be moved up to tomorrow or Wednesday, depending on how the talks finish up here. According to Adam Schefter, the NFL is pushing to move up the deadline for a week after the new collective bargaining agreement. So once they sign the letter, is now expected to be sooner. Those deemed to be at high risk at COVID-19 would receive $350,000 and an accrued NFL season. If the opt-out of the season, players who aren't deemed to be at risk but don't feel comfortable playing can receive $150,000 if they opt out. Those numbers could change slightly based on circumstances. Now, the NFL wants to move this up because now they're seeing how people are dropping out, and they don't want to give these players any more time to think about it. This is just a complete low-life move by the NFL. Okay? That's what this is. There is nothing here that says you're doing the right thing for people. If anything, you should give people time to decide whether they may want to risk their lives or not. Because I know a lot of you are saying, well, what do you mean risk their lives? Oh, they don't, then people aren't going to die. Well, you never know. You never know. There's a good chance all these guys will survive COVID if they get it, but there's a chance one of them could succumb to it. And if any of them have any pre-existing conditions, then they certainly could easily succumb to it. I'm just saying, this is the kind of move that is a trashy move on behalf of the NFL, and it shows consistently that they don't care about player safety. They talk a good game about player safety, but they don't show it. I'm sorry. I don't believe it. I just don't whatsoever. So the NFL, to me, doing this move just makes if I'm a player more than ever now, I'm thinking of dropping the hell out. Because if you're doing this, it's because you know more than we do as it is. You know the risks that are involved. People have already, given you all the facts, and you're doing this because you're afraid people are going to come to their senses, and the game won't be nearly as good. Which it's not going to be as good because we got people dropping out. So if we got people dropping out, it's because we're gonna end up losing. Can you imagine if it starts being quarterbacks now? If quarterbacks start dropping out,
well, we've seen the ripple effects when you don't have a quarterback. What happens? All those Patriot players, they don't really have a quarterback. No. They don't have Brady, and why the hell am I getting involved in this?
Yeah, and this is just. It's just a money play.
Does it amaze you?
The NFL.
Does it amaze you how just like blatant? Like this is blatant.
No, not at all.
Like they just
not at all.
You know what? We'll run roughshod over you, and you're just gonna like it.
Not at all.
Too bad.
They're Teflon, dude.
They are.
Look at the Ray. Look at the Ray Rice situation. I've said this for many years that the NFL, the women. How do women follow the NFL? Can you explain that to me? After all these guys get breaks for beating women, you know what I mean? And even in the Ray Rice situation, it was a 2-game suspension until they got busted. Until the video got out that he smacked her down, dragged her out of the elevator like a sack of potatoes, and they used practically a slap on the hand. It was domestic violence back in the day. And yet women still support the sport of football. Why? How do women not get disgusted by the NFL not caring about women? That's the part I don't understand. So that's how Teflon they are. So I don't get surprised. Because if women will still watch and support the league, knowing that they have been so irresponsible with domestic violence issues, now they're tough on them because now they have no choice. Everybody knows it. Everybody sees it. Videos are out. So now the NFL acts like they care. But they don't. It's just the weirdest thing. So that's why I'm not surprised.
Every time you mention the Ray Rice thing, man, you know what pops up in my head? The picture of those 3 women wearing the Ray Rice jerseys at the Ravens game.
Yep.
It's like,
and they're holding up signs that say "Free Ray Rice," which every woman that was wearing a Ray Rice jersey and saying "Free Ray Rice," you're almost as disgusting as he is. Seriously, because the women that are supporting Ray Rice are basically saying it's all right that he beats women as long as he's on our football team, and gaining yards and scoring touchdowns. How can a woman be supportive of Ray Rice in any way, shape, or form? So I don't know. I just wanted to throw that out there because it just one that I saw that is pretty disgusting. What are you going to do? All right, 786-322-1105. If you want to get in on the text line, that's 786-322-1105. If you want to get in, let me give you a little music news, huh? Why don't we do that? Let's first start off with a little music history today. A lot of things went down that were actually pretty cool in music history. In 1968, on this date, Hello, I Love You became the Doors' second and final #1 single. In 1971, on this date, Paul McCartney announced that he was forming Wings. In 1974, Bad Company went to #1 on the album chart with their self-titled debut, which, by the way, is a great album, that first album from Bad Company. 1987, Def Leppard released their 4th studio album, Hysteria. And in 1985, on this date, Tears for Fears started a three-week run at the top of the charts with Shout, Shout, Let It All Out. We want some birthdays today. Tony Bennett, born on this date back in 1926. John York from the Byrds was born in 1946. John Graham, guitarist for Earth, Wind, and Fire, born in 1951. Marty Atkins from Public Image Limited, born in 1959 on this date. Lee Rocker, bassist for the Stray Cats. A little stray cat strut, I'm a ladies' cat. I'm feeling kind of... Born in 1961. Deirdre Roper, known as DJ Spinderella with Salt and Pepper, was born in 1971. So those are some of the things that happened in history and in music today. The other thing, Bill, I think we're going to the Download Festival next year, bro. It's over 70 bands that are going to be a part of it, okay? The headliners for the 3 nights.
Go for it.
Okay? Kiss on Friday. Biffy Clyro on Saturday, and System of a Down on Sunday. Let me give you a couple of other bands. By the way, do you know who opens up right before Biffy Clyro? Just for you, buddy. Deftones.
Nice.
Yes. Black Veil Brides. Miles Kennedy is there. Joyous Wolf, Bush, Daughtry, Mastodon, Killswitch Engage, Korn, Skillet, and Miles Kennedy will do a second set, an acoustic set. He does a regular rock set on Friday, and then on Sunday he's going to do an acoustic set, all at Donington Park. Tickets, by the way, will go on sale this Friday, August 7th at 9 a.m. I'm seriously thinking about getting tickets for this because you can sell them, if anything, or get refunds if they're canceled by next year. But I really want to go to this. Like, I've never seen Biffy Clyro, and I would travel just for Biffy. But there's going to be, I can't give you all 70 bands, but I gave you enough there for the trip already,
yes.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
I mean, give me a break, dude. Right there.
Kiss, the fact that they're on the front end on Friday.
Yes. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. No, I've never seen Kiss in another country either. So that'll be cool. And at the Download Festival, which already is a bucket list type of rock and reel type of thing, it's one of the great festivals of all time, dude, in rock. And I'm already giving you so many bands there as it is. I saw that and I go, I got to go. I got to go to this. It's a must.
Now, if we go, we've got to hope that there is corresponding concerts in the surrounding, correct?
Well, but dude, it's 3 days of. I mean, yeah, we're going to go for a week or 10 days for sure. No, I completely agree with you on that. But, and it's Europe, so maybe we can take a train somewhere to another country
like
to go.
I told you.
Like, you know.
You two in Ireland, give me Phoenix in France. That's where they're from.
Okay.
Let's hook up a Cure or a Smiths, whichever, Depeche, whatever.
They could add that. I mean, they're going to add more, but
I'm just saying.
But I saw that list, and I'm like, oh man, this is a kind of festival I want to go to. And those of you who don't know Biffy Clyro, I'm an enormous Biffy Clyro fan. I love Biffy Clyro. They're not popular here in this country. Very few people know them, but they're enormous in Europe. Well, they're headlining. They're headlining the Download Festival. That's all you need to know. The second night is their night. So that's all you need to know. I'm telling you, they're a really good band. I enjoy them. You may not, or you may love it. You got to check it out. I turned him on to it. They're a good band, man. They really are. So if you get an opportunity, it might be a place that we all could hang out. A couple of other news and notes. Molly Hatchet, original member Steve Holland, the guitarist, has passed away. He passed away yesterday. Holland was a co-founder of Molly Hatchet, Again, I'm a huge Molly Hatchet guy. I love my Southern rock. He passed away, unfortunately. Him and Dave Hulbeck are two of the original members. He is the last surviving member of the original Molly Hatchet. Okay, he was there for the first 4 albums, if I'm correct. So there you go. And one more thing. The Sturgis rally is still on, the motorcycle rally. And they had to kind of scramble because of COVID. So the initial lineup unveiled in 2019 was ZZ Top, REO Speedwagon, Willie Nelson, Shinedown, and Puddle of Mud. Further acts, including Skinnerd Rat, Eagles of Death Metal, were announced not long after. But then they had to fill up the lineup, right, because they had cancellations. So now the new lineup, just in case you guys want to go out to South Dakota, August 8th through the 17th, and these artists will be there. Molly Hatchet, what's left of them. The Guess Who, what's left of them. Night Ranger, which you still have 3 original members on that Night Ranger band, including the singers. And I say singers because remember the drummer also sings. 38 Special, Smash Mouth, Saving Abel, Buck Cherry, Lit, and Drowning Pool. All will be on the Buffalo Chip main stage. Fozzy, Hinder, and Bone Thugs and Harmony will be in the Iron Horse Saloon, while Steel Panther and Kenny Wayne Shepherd, along with Andrew Dice Clay, will appear at the Full Throttle Saloon. Okay? Remember, this place is enormous. I don't think a lot of people realize this. It goes 10 days, the event, okay? And it's spread across 8 locations, including local bars, campgrounds, indoor and outdoor stages. Sturgis Motorcycle Rally lures about 500,000 people to South Dakota every year. Reports show the occasion also brings around $800 million in revenue to the area. So they're up to 500,000 people, and in the middle of a COVID pandemic, that's not going to be a good thing. As much as I've been dying to go check out one of those,
they are anticipating every bit of 250,000 people.
I think they'll
COVID.
I think they'll get more than that. I think they'll get closer
That's
to
scary.
I think they'll get closer to 400,000. I bet they'll get closer to
well,
their 500.
guess who's going to try to surge into the lead with the state run for the day?
Yeah, South Dakota.
South Dakota charge.
Yeah, because you know why? There's going to be a lot of people that are coming from other states that are polluted. And so they're going to bring COVID to South Dakota, which they don't have a lot of cases. So you can hold like the other day when they held that Great White concert, I didn't lose my crap that day because what did I tell you? I showed you. There are no cases there. It's very little. You know what I mean? So I don't mind you living your life in a place that has no cases. Now, here, we can't do that. We can't have concerts in South Florida. It's nuts.
You know I want to know is going. Jay Leno.
Yeah.
Because that's one of his.
Yeah. I doubt he'll go this time around. Unless he goes where he has like privacy completely and he's not nobody's messing with him or anything like that. I mean, think about it. That's the kind of place that even if you wear your mask, like you'll have people picking on you for wearing the mask. Like you'll have a lot of those people, and that's going to end up happening there. So you might even end up in a fight because you wear a mask. Ray Grulong chiming in on a little super chat. Ray says, Orlando, love the first shirt. When you can, check out their new album called Made in Rain. Really good. Ray, I have it already, baby. I got it last week, was it? Or a week and a half ago in the mail? Yep. I got that one. So, yes, we are set. I got myself a little furs. So I am with you, my brother. I got it. Thank you, as always, for supporting us on the Super Chat. Very nice of you, my man. Thank you, Ray. What else do we have here? I was 11 or 12 and begged them to drop me off at the front of the stadium. Still resent my father for that. Oh, still resent my father for that. What was that for? What was it, a concert or something? Oh, still upset my dad didn't take me to Monsters of Rock show at the OB in 86. So many concerts, so little time. Monsters of Rock 86, that's the Van Halen Metallica one, right? I was there. Wasn't it Van Halen, Metallica, Scorpions? Who am I missing? Metallica, Van Halen, Scorpions. Was Priest there? No, Priest wasn't there. I know I'm missing somebody else. Somebody help me, the 86 one. I forgot now. And that was Van Hagar. That was headlining. If I'm correct. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I'm right. That Van Hagar was headlining.
That's easy to assume because 84 was last David Lee Roth.
Right. Yeah, I'm pretty sure 86, man. One of you guys are going to have to remind me now. I know there was a fourth band. I'm sure of it. There was a fourth band. And I can't, maybe there was a fifth band, and I don't even remember now. Yeah, it was so damn long ago. But it's possible. It is all possible. Any of you see the Go-Go's documentary this weekend? It aired finally on Showtime. It's an hour and 45 minutes. I watched it twice, and it was excellent. It was a lot of fun. They had a lot of audio and video from them all the way dating back to their punk days when they were a hardcore punk band. Hell, they've got video of them when they were just fans in the stands watching other punk bands in the LA scene. And that's how they kind of met. I don't want to ruin too much for you just in case. But that's kind of how they met in the punk scene. But, I mean, a lot of people may know that about the Go-Go's as it is. But they physically show you a lot of that stuff, which is actually really, really cool. And a lot of the personal stuff that they went through as a band and how they ended up breaking up and then getting back together and all of that and how they partied and a lot of the bands that they were tied to that helped them, a couple of I don't want to give away too much on the things that catapulted them to stardom, which was actually pretty cool, a lot of that stuff. So if you get an opportunity to see, if you like the Go-Go's, and you want to check them out, and again, they're not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and considering that to this day, I don't know if you know this, but they're still the only female group to write and play their own instruments and take a record to number one. No one ever has done that. There's never been another, like the Runaways were an all-female group. I don't know if they wrote all their music. They did play their albums. They did play their own instruments, but they never went to number one. They never even got close to that. They probably were never in the top 50. Okay, I don't know if they may have cracked the top 100 in the U.S. I know in China they were enormous. In Europe they had more a lot more popularity, especially was it China or Japan, I think it was. They were enormous in Japan. But here they never got big. And so all women's group, that stuff. So the Bangles obviously did not write all their music because they played their instruments, but they obviously, if they're not, I don't know if they went to number one. Maybe they did, and they probably did with their album back in the day. I'm not sure if it did or not. History of music, that you're all female, you wrote all your music and you played all your instruments and you went to number one. And when you watch the documentary, I want you to also follow all their big songs and how they came about those big songs. Like one big song in each of the three albums. I want you to listen to it and pay attention, and then we can talk about it down the line. Okay? Jack Gonzalez says Belinda Carlisle was a huge party animal. No, all five of them were huge party animals. Okay? It wasn't just Belinda. They were all party animals. Okay? You got to watch it. You got to watch it. But yes, we know Belinda loved to drink, loved to snort. But they were all drinking. They were all snorting. I'm just saying. You need to see the story. It's pretty cool. How their bassist breaks in is interesting, you know, and the turmoil and everything that went on with it. I'm just telling you, it's an interesting story.
I saw it, and obviously doing.
You watched the whole thing?
No, I recorded it.
Okay.
When I saw it, I was like, "Oh wow!" And I did exactly read what you read. Number one, only all female, and it was like, man, that's actually. You think about all the women. You know, Linda Ronstadt, Janice, the Heart band, Heart.
But they didn't play all the instruments.
It just wow that they have the distinction of being the only Joan Jett who's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. That is a pretty cool classification for you to be the lone.
Right. And they're still not in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. So you should get to go. Again, I've seen, Donovan, people that have accomplished less and they're in the Hall of Fame. So, you know.
Are you talking T-Rex?
Yes, that's another one. I saw it, did not know how much drugs the Go-Go's were doing. I knew they had issues, but the doc shows a lot of the drugs that were on. Yeah. No, they show cocaine. They show them doing cocaine. Yeah. You know, it's you got to watch it.
Good thing they are not in this time because of social media. They'd be crucified.
Oh, yeah, definitely. Definitely. Mike No-Go Zone says, agree, the Go-Go's documentary was great. It was awesome. It's a lot of fun. So if you get an opportunity, I'm telling you, watch it. Ray says, love the doc, especially on their first tour in England, the abuse they were getting from the Brits. Yeah. They were opening up for the Specials, and they were opening up for Madness. Madness and the Specials from back in the day. That's pretty cool for them. That was because they were enormous in England in those times. And anybody that likes that kind of music, obviously, if I like Psychedelic Furs, I'm into the Specials, the English Beat, you know, what was it? The Specials, the English Beat, and was it Special Beat was the other one? Or what was the other name that was kind of a spin-off from all of that? Trying to remember now. Anyway, whatever. But, yeah, from that era. It was really good. Really, really good. Myron says, I love the Specials. Yeah, man, the Specials are great. It's just excellent music, man. Great musicians. You know? Ghost Town. Love it. All right, 786-322-1105. Raptors are leading the Heat 10-9 right now with 5:18 left in the first quarter. We'll keep you updated on it for those of you that aren't watching it if you want. While you listen, not in the class of Casanovas. I know Stefano's was a hangout and all that in Key Biscayne, but Casanovas and Backstreets and 1235, those were like the elite clubs. You know what I mean? Stefano's is kind of like, what's the place we used to hang out in the Grove over by the dock? What's the name of that place?
Monty Trainers?
Monty Trainers. Yeah, that Stefano's and Monty Trainers, you know, it's kind of like a hangout place, but like historic clubs, I can't put Stefano's in that category with Joseph's or, you know, a Pizzazz.
Ovo, man.
Club Ovo, 1235.
When we were at Andy Gibbs' last birthday.
Yeah, those kind of places are, you know, those were real clubs. You know what I mean? Stefano's was kind of like that hangout place. It was almost like the place you went to start it up a little bit before you went to 1235. You know, it was kind of like the appetizer place. You know, that kind of deal. Yeah, that's what I would call it. What's it called? I was once a teenage hand model, and the drugs and rock and roll were rampant. It's a rough life in the big leagues. But when you want to see a commercial showing off gloves, who you calling, me or OJ? Dougie Fresh, you are a trip, my man. Banana Boat. Oh, man, that's like in deep North Miami Beach off of US 1, right? That's the Banana Boat that you're talking about. I think I remember. The Village Inn. Fire and Ice. See? Fire and Ice. That's a club. See, that's a historic one with
the kitchen club.
The kitchen club, the cartoon porns and everything in the Fire and Ice. Yeah, baby. Yeah. Yeah. Stefano's was kind of like that hardcore little hangout for Miami people. You know what I mean? Like Broward people weren't really traveling down to go to Stefano's. They were traveling down to go to 1235 or Casanova's. Because, you know, when you go to Casanova, action, disco satisfaction. 17-15 Heat. 18-17 Raptors. Oh, wait a minute. No, it might have been a foul on the Raptors. The 3 doesn't count. Love it. Okay. All right, so still 17-15. We'll take it.
Do you notice that, obviously, with lack of home court, that there appears that some teams are taking these games as just warm-up, because they've got their spot. You really don't have home court advantage.
Well,
Toronto is one that is like, we're here to show you something.
Yeah, they're playing ball.
Okay.
Well, because they lost Kawhi, so they want to show that they can be a great team.
They got a chip on their shoulder.
Yeah. So they have motivation right now, which is pretty cool. If you're a Raptors fan, it's like your team found something else to latch on, and they've played so well. And let me tell you, when people have said, hey, the Raptors, don't count them out, I've kind of laughed at them. I'm kind of like, nah, I get it. I respect them. They're going to be a playoff team. But no.
It's hard when you don't have the go-to guy like Kawhi that you can, you know what I mean?
But if OG can be that guy, which I'm still not convinced he can be that guy yet, he has the talent, but he's not there yet. Now maybe he does get there. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. It could happen. Thoughts and prayers, by the way, to the Wilford family, or Brimley family, as Wilford Brimley passed away over the weekend. Cocoon and Quaker Oats and, all those kind of things that you might remember Wilford Brimley for.
The Firm.
The Firm is definitely one that you got to remember.
What do you think? I just sit around here and do nothing?
Yeah.
I mean, seriously?
Yeah. That was good. But listen, he lived to 85, so bless him. He had a full life. So that's one good thing for him, and he was able to live a complete life. 786-322-1105. That's 786-322-1105. If you want to get in, don't forget to visit our friends at VSS West Pines, 12397 Pembroke Road. I've been telling you about VSS West Pines for a while now. Go see Jose and all the great people out there, man. They're just absolutely amazing. You'll get 20% off anything you buy in the store, and I keep telling you, it's where CBD meets Spencer's and Barefoot Mailman. And it doesn't matter if you're buying CBD, if you're looking for a water pipe, if you're looking for a hookah, if you're looking for papers, if you're looking for a lighter, whatever it is that you're looking for. They've got so many. If you're looking for a backpack, they got these killer backpacks there. They've got all kinds of great stuff. 20% off. Mention my name. 12397 Pembroke Road, baby. It is VSSWestPines.com on the website.
It's a buyer's market at Toyota of Hollywood. Over 1,500 Toyotas on the ground, and truckloads just keep on coming. Now pay up to 50% less. 2020 Camry, not $29,000, $17,775. 2020 Corolla, not $22,000, $13,775. Buy a new 2020 Toyota with 0 down and 0% financing, or we'll make your payments till 2021. At Toyota of Hollywood, the #1 volume Toyota dealer on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street.
Are you tired of watching the same old travel videos on the internet? Well, then check out...
No one expects to get into a crash, but I expect you to go to accidentlawfirm.com if you do. Make sure when hiring a driver, you go through a rideshare app so that you can be covered by the insurance, which can be up to $1 million whether you're a passenger or a driver. In other words, don't try to save a few bucks by paying cash instead of going through the app. I'm attorney Bobby Nunez from Nunez Law in Miami, and we're here to help you through the process. Go to accidentlawfirm.com for a free consultation from me, Bobby Nunez. That's accidentlawfirm.com.
America's safest and best-selling compact luxury SUV is at Acura of Pembroke Pines, and this is how we do it. RDX, $339 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
is the Big O Show. This 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 is the Big O Show.
All right, we're back. George Caballos is asking me on Twitter. He says, Big O, where can I get that shirt you're wearing? You got to go to a concert. This is where I bought this one at a concert. So my suggestion to you is to go to the Psychedelic Furs website, and a lot of times bands will have leftovers from their tours, and they're still selling the shirts. What year it says here in the back?
It says absolutely nothing.
Oh, no year? No
You
year?
got that at Spencer's,
Oh,
bro.
no.
That's not a concert shirt.
No, because this is this is a Culture Room one.
Dude,
So
I'm
you know
messing
what?
with you.
No, because they're at a level now that they can't put their dates. They're a small band nowadays. They don't fill any air. They play in small places.
If you put dates, it's labeled this and that tour.
No, it's
blah,
just
you know.
it's just they add along the way and stuff, so they can't. So now I remember that this shirt, you can't. It has no dates, so it might be on their website. So go to Psychedelic Furs website, and I hope it's there for you, man.
Just be honest.
It is a
doesn't
great-
have dates, so you got it at Spencer's.
It is a great shirt. It is a fantastic
You got
shirt.
it at Spencer's.
And it's purple, which is another thing.
Oh, yes.
Which is, because I have so many black shirts. Whenever I could get a different color, man, I'm like, oh,
There.
I'm all over it.
Yes.
Yeah, the blue Uriah Heep, exactly.
You got a blue? What?
And it's really nice, the Uriah Heep that we got from the last concert, from the Judas Priest concert when Uriah opened up. Let's see. First of all, we go to Julius 305 with the little super chat part of that list. And yes, sir. I remember the days of going to Parallel Bar. That was a fun place. I love it. Dougie Fresh coming in strong with a super chat. Dougie says, R.I.P. to Wilford Brimley. Thanks to you, generations of people will pronounce diabetes as diabetes. And you blew it in Cocoon. You should have kept swimming with hot aliens and kept it to yourself. You got to be old, I guess, to know Cocoon, right? If you're young, give it a whirl, man. It might hold up still, Cocoon, at this time. I don't know. I think it might. Might be one of those.
What's the one where they're at the nursing home? The girl, what's his name? In Your Eyes.
Oh, yeah.
He's talking about the Cocoon.
Yeah.
They're about to play the Cocoon movie.
Yeah. Awesome. I love it. All right, 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the accidentlawfirm.com text line. Reese McGuire. Well, this is a Major League Baseball player. He's also a major bonehead at the same time. Literally. I mean, this guy was busted for masturbating in his car. Police say cameras malfunctioned in the process of recording the video. They obtained the moment when cops busted the MLB catcher for allegedly masturbating in public. Now, you can still hear the audio of McGuire's encounter with officers at a strip mall in Dunedin, Florida, On February 7th, everything happens in Florida. Conversations begin with the cops asking the 25-year-old Blue Jay, did he end up with blue balls? If he was aware that people had called them saying that they had seen him while he was half naked in his car, pleasuring himself. McGuire tried to explain the situation before telling cops, I realized what an idiot, what a dumb place to be hanging out. All right? So, first of all, let's play some of the audio of the incident with Mr. McGuire getting busted by the cops for a wanking off.
We get called here today for your white SUV. You know that people were calling?
I didn't, sir.
Okay. When did we get here?
I probably was here maybe 10 minutes before you guys.
Gotcha.
So when I pulled up, there was a car to my left, no one was in it. There was no car in the right lane, or in the right stall.
Okay.
And by the time I saw you guys, I realized there was a car there, and that I assume is the person who probably looked through the window.
So, whenever the car pulled up there, you didn't know that they were watching you?
No.
Doing what you were doing?
No, I did not.
Okay. And when did you realize that people were here other than, like, us knocking on the window?
I didn't. I was in the car, and then
I was just whacking off.
I kind of was checking to make sure no one was looking, like no one was around me. And then at that point, I kind of got spooked when I saw you, sir. And then I realized what a dumb place to be hanging out, you know.
If you're down at an apartment next to the stadium, why would you come to a parking lot just to masturbate?
I don't know.
So you feel like...
That wasn't the reason why. I don't know. I just decided to park. And
okay.
I'm not sure what goes on from here, but as far as I've realized that I made a mistake of having my pants down and doing what I was doing. I mean, if there's any way I can really learn from it, I feel like hopefully no one's harmed in what they saw, but I really am apologetic.
Officer, is there any, I mean, is it for sure going to court kind of thing, or?
The simple fact is it's a misdemeanor.
Mm-hmm.
They're public. I got people that saw it, and we saw them every walked up. Mm-hmm. So it's a misdemeanor for a misdemeanor.
Mm-hmm.
Or would we say, hey, this person's reputable enough that we can give them
a court date,
when and where to be.
Okay.
And not have to give them a bond or something. At least on their own cognizance from the scene, and they just are expected to come back and
okay. I understand.
Or whatever.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah, I understand.
And the fact that you got to go explaining that you're jerking off in a car in a shopping center to a cop, you know, and it's like you didn't realize that people around you knew that you were jerking off in your car, so they're calling the cops on you because you're jerking off in your car. And what are you going to learn from this? I'm just wondering. Like, you're 25 years old. At this point, you should know you should not go to a shopping center. And listen, I'm not condoning it 30 years ago, but there were no cameras around 30 years ago. You know what I mean? Nowadays, there's cameras everywhere. You're in a shopping center, right? There's probably cameras above you somewhere in some of these poles looking down. So they're going to look at you playing with your pole. Okay? And people all walking around, they've got cameras. So I just wonder, what is it like? That looks like a good shopping center where I can park and jerk off. Is that what comes to your mind? Or was it just like something that just turned you on all of a sudden that I've got to go jerk off in a shopping center?
30 years ago, are you specifically referring to Pee-wee playing with Pee-wee?
No, but he did that. But he did that in a movie theater. Come on, I mean, that's just as bad 30 years ago as right now. But in today's world, why would you try anything like that when everybody has a camera? Okay, and you're a baseball player, dude. I mean, you should be able to get tail whenever you want. And I get it, we're in the middle of a pandemic, so right now may not be the time to be searching for tail. So play with your thing at home, bro. Do what normal people do. There are millions of men and women all over this country that masturbate. There's nothing wrong with it. Okay, you don't have a partner, you got to release yourself a little bit, but normal people do it at home. Okay? You're at home, you're in bed all alone one night, you're watching soft porn on, what is it, Showtime, HBO, whatever they show, and there you go. You're watching a little internet action, enjoy yourself. You're a young lady, you're by yourself, you got your plastic friend that vibrates in the drawer, you whip it out, you take care of yourself for a couple minutes, and then you go to sleep with a smile.
Pocket pal.
That's it. You know what I mean? I mean, that's what normal people do, okay? We're not telling you shouldn't play with yourself. Go ahead, but play with yourself in private, not in public with your pubics. Come on. I mean, give me a break, dude. How is that? How are you that stupid? And then you think about it. How embarrassing is that conversation with that cop? Right? And does this guy ever become like a superstar in baseball? So if this guy becomes a superstar in baseball, he will now have memes that will go up the yang forever. Okay? You get busted. Now let's hear how the story really breaks down with the controlled masturbator in the shopping center. Go ahead.
We get called here today for your
Hand guy.
What are we going to do about this hand thing?
I'm not sure what goes on from here, but as far as
You have nothing better to do at 3 o'clock in the afternoon?
You got girlfriend? Not just this minute.
This hand is mine.
Girlfriend? Me so horny. You party? Yeah, we might party.
This hand is mine.
Girlfriend?
I'm busy. Treating his body like it was an amusement park.
That's the way it should be. That's what we should have played for you. One more time, Bill, because that was good. That was good.
We get called here today for your
Horny.
Hand guy. What are we going to do about this hand thing?
I'm not sure what goes on from here, but as far as
You have nothing better to do at 3 o'clock in the afternoon?
You got girlfriend? Not just this minute.
This hand is mine.
Girlfriend? Me so horny. You party? Yeah, we might party.
This hand is mine.
Girlfriend?
I'm busy. Treating his body like it was an amusement park.
I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. Reese McGuire. Oh man. Reese McGuire. The masturbator. No doubt about it. Reese Masturbator. Instead of McGuire, he should change his last name to Masturbator. Reese Masturbator. Dougie Fresh goes, did this happen in the Panhandle? No, and well, Dunedin. Dunedin is not. Dunedin is not the Panhandle, right? It's the West Coast. Is it, or is that? Do we get is Dunedin in the Panhandle? No, I think it's West Coast, right? I gotta look it up now. Where's Dunedin, Florida?
I thought that was somewhere around Lakeland. They said.
Yeah, I think it's the West Coast. Yeah, I think it's. I'm pretty sure it's West Coast.
Well, I mean, it's West Coast, but it's more in the middle. You know, it ain't like Crystal River or any of Tampa, St. That are right on the water. It's a little bit more in like Gainesville.
Right. Let me see. Dunedin is by Palm Harbor. Dunedin is a city on Florida's Gulf Coast. It's known for beaches, pine forests, There we go. So it is right on the coast. Yeah, right. West Coast. Yeah, it's by Clearwater. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Okay, so it's not as far north as Lakeland. No.
No, it's farther north than Lakeland. It's west. It's right on the water. It's right by Clearwater.
No, Lakeland is further
Clearwater.
north than Clearwater.
Is it?
Yeah, man. Oh, yeah.
Yeah?
Yes. Yes.
Is it really? I thought it was it was east and south by a little bit. Not by much, but I thought Dunedin and Clearwater were more north than Lakeland.
Lakeland's the home of Publix, which I had no
Yeah,
idea.
that has nothing to do with that. I'm saying my
well,
point is.
I've been to Lakeland. We played our 100-pound team
I've
played
been in
the Lakeland
10,000
Lumberjacks.
times. That's not the point. I thought there was a little bit south of Clearwater. I didn't think it was that north. But either way, it's on the West Coast. So it's not in the Panhandle. So we'll see. Somebody's saying Lowry is on a mission. Lowry's a good player, man. Now, that team is on a mission, Myron. The whole team is playing really, really well. I know right now I'm doing a show, so I can't pay attention as much as I would like. A couple things here before we wrap it up on the show. One, David Njoku has rescinded his request to get traded. And the former University of Miami star is represented by Drew Rosenhaus. So now he has tweeted out that I'm all in Cleveland, time to work. Somebody tell the first-round pick from 2017 that it's been time to work from day one and that he has not gotten it done so far. And I understand that Cleveland is not the perfect place out there, but he's had opportunities himself to prove that he's better than what he is. And he wanted to this is where the knucklehead comes in. Okay? Not saying that Njoku is a knucklehead, but it's a knuckleheaded move on his part. Because, listen, I'm not the smartest guy in the world, but I don't think I'm a knucklehead, but I'll do knuckleheaded things. I'll do some stupid things sometimes because I'm human. I make mistakes. This is a stupid move on his part. First of all, you don't request a trade when you've accomplished squat. You've had injuries. You've been inconsistent. Don't blame everybody else for your failures. Okay? 2, you should realize that since you haven't accomplished anything as a first-round pick, it's going to be that much harder to trade you. So to request a trade will be unrealistic. And you're in the middle of a pandemic, which you didn't have an offseason, and all they know about you is inconsistency. So where is there anything that they would give up of value for you? Plus, you're getting closer now, because remember, you're a 17 pick. You're now getting closer to a free agent contract, which means you're going to want to get paid. So is somebody going to trade for a guy that has underachieved and wants to get paid for underachieving? No. So in David Njoku, I wish you the best, dude. I thought you would be a pretty damn good tight end, and maybe you still will end up because sometimes it takes players a little longer than normal to get on board and figure it out. And we all knew David was raw, and he had to learn a lot. But apparently he hasn't realized that he doesn't have trade value right now. How much more do you trade on potential? You get fired for potential. That's what ends up happening with potential. Potential gets your ass fired. So David Njoku, brother, give it a rest. Shut the hell up. Play ball. Prove that you can play. And then, maybe then, you will get what you want, which is a new contract and maybe playing for a new team. That would be really, really good. Come on, man. I love Njoku. I love his talent. But, dude, let's get realistic here. You haven't done squat. Wake the hell up. The other story I saw that was pretty, if you're a Cowboys fan, okay, give you a little Browns for any of you Browns fans out there. Here's a little Cowboys note for you guys. If you don't believe in Dak, then you've got no problem with this story when it's all said and done. If you believe in Dak, this is going to get you more pissed off. So Dak apparently looked all jacked, showed off his body over the weekend, shredded. He signed his 1-year, $31 million tender, which if you have to sign him again next year, it'll be $37 million of hard cap money. Dak Prescott has handled all his entire career so far perfectly. And he handled himself here in free agency or headed into free agency perfectly. He forced them to tag him. He didn't give him the contract he wanted, which was a 4-year deal, because the Cowboys already milked you for 4 years as a 4th-round pick. They haven't paid you. They didn't treat you like Tony Romo, okay? And I get it, black, so that's going to be a knock. People aren't going to give him the respect he deserves. All this kind of crap. The guy's played his ass off. He threw for 5,000 yards last year with a weak wide receiving core and no tight ends. Okay? This guy balled out last year, and he's looking for big-time money, but he wants to make it the right way, and he's looking out for himself. The Cowboys have been smart in how they've drafted and how they've re-signed most of their players. They effed up with this one. Okay? They should have given him that 4-year deal he wanted and move on, and you got your quarterback. He's tradable anyways. You're better off trading him with a contract in place than you are now when you end up not being able to tag him because it's going to be too much money. It's going to set your cap back. It's going to set you back, and you won't be able to do it, and then you're going to end up losing him for nothing because he's going to hit free agency. Because maybe you get away with one more tag, but then he knows you're not going to do the third tag. And guess what? He walks right out the door for nothing. When you could have signed him you should have signed him last year, not this offseason. You should have signed him the year before he went into his 4th year. Instead of 31, you probably would be paying 26 or 27 for him. So you would have gotten a bargain because by now he's going to be in the mid-30s to $40 million because that's the market. So now you're paying him 31, which is the market. Next year it goes up to 35 to 40 million range. And you're not going to be willing to do it, and he knows that. And now he's cut up in shape and all that. He's focused. He doesn't get in trouble. You never hear anything stupid with Dak. The guy is wired the right way. He's a really good dude, and he's played his ass off for you. He hasn't had the big moments because your team is not, and you had a weak coach for many years that you finally got rid of. And you've got Jerry Jones. Obviously, that's going to bury your team. I'm telling you, it's a shame because the Cowboys have drafted really, really well. I hope they draft another quarterback because they're going to need him. They're going to need him in a big-time way. This is a mistake on their part. And when I see Dak ripped up like this, it's because that dude is focused like he was his past year, and they tagged him, and he knew it, and he banked on himself, and he went and had a great year with not a great offense around him, and now he's jacked again. He's ready to go, and he's going to attack this season the right way, and there's going to be takers at the end of the year because everybody needs a quarterback. Not everybody, but half the league needs a quarterback. So somebody's going to be willing to pay him. You're not Jerry Jones, and I get it, and I can keep telling you what the optics look like. You disappeared during this Black Lives Matter movement here. You complain like a little bitch for the kneeling. Now that things have changed, you have not said you accommodate, that you believe, you back up, all that. And now when your black quarterback needs to get paid, you don't pay him. But you paid the choking-ass white quarterback in Tony Romo all the time. You may not think he's a racist, and maybe he's not. But the optics say something completely different. So, Dak Prescott, you keep doing you, dude, because you are handling it in a perfect fashion. An absolutely perfect fashion. Kudos to you. 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the text line. That's 786-322-1105 if you want to get in on the text line. You see where the Raiders are releasing P.J. Hall, their defensive tackle, and their second-round pick of 2018. It's, I always laugh with, and I get it because fans sometimes can be, blind. And for years I've had to argue with silly Dolphin fans that would call me, oh, we're going to win 11 or 12 this year. Oh, I'm telling you. And it was like, no, dude, you're not. And stop already. They're not a good team. And so I got it from the Raiders fans too, because they're dying for their team to be really good. But the problem is, it's hard to be really good when you've got John Gruden. And I know that John Gruden won that one title with Tampa and Tony Dungy's guys and all that stuff. And he added a couple of pieces on offense, but he destroyed that team as time went on. And when he got there, he made them the oldest team in the league right away, which, again, was kind of stupid. And P.J. Hall was one of their first picks, second-round pick. And he hasn't worked out. I just think this is going to be an absolute disaster. From this idiot giving him a $100 million contract to bringing Mike Mayock on and everything that's gone on. Antonio Brown, they gave away picks. It's just pure stupidity follows one move after another after another. And when I see P.J. Hall cut and it's a second-round pick, it just tells me that this is going to be the kind of team that it's just going to be a joke. And eventually, Mark Davis will run out of patience, but it'll be down the line because he's so cheap. And what he's overpaying John Gruden, he's going to have to stick with him probably into years 6 and 7 of this, and it's going to be a nightmare. Absolute nightmare. I'm just saying. I saw the P.J. Hall thing, and I had to laugh. I had to laugh because that's the only way I could look at something like this. Just laugh. All right. Let's wrap it up here on the show, bro. All right. Did we do enough today?
Are you sure?
Did we talk enough today? 3 hours and 30 minutes today. And I missed the first hour of the basketball. I mean, I'm recording it so I can rewind.
Of course.
But
I'm watching it, but kind of trying not to because, yeah, I've got to record it at home.
There's so much to talk about, dude. I still left a whole bunch of other things to talk about, but you guys go focus on the game.
I was going to say, I mean, you know, the Pac-12 and the players.
Yeah,
it's a lot.
I got a bunch of other stories that I haven't gotten to, but that's all right. That's the beauty. Now we have sports.
What a concept.
Man, we get to talk less about COVID and politics and this crap and all that's going on. So it's nice to have sports back and be able to talk more and more about sport. I mean, 3.5 hours here, we got a lot of sports in. So thank you all out there. As always, first of all, we got to thank our Super Chatters. Myron, thank you. Double super chatting. Kenneth Cleveland getting in. Ray Grulon. Julius 305. Dougie Fresh. All of you for super chatting in. Thank you very much. Love all of you that are on the chat board right now, whether you're watching and you never chat. Maybe you're listening because you download all the time. I appreciate you downloading the podcast whenever you do, however you do it. It's always appreciated, as always. I love every one of you out there. Thanks to Bill and Philippe getting it done. We always appreciate those guys. We will see you tomorrow. Same time, same place, same bat channel, and plenty of sports talk. Yes. Be good out there.
Stay safe.